Man, I learned ecom totally backwards. Like, I've had some horrible mentors of guys going from 0 to like 5-figure months, 6-figure months, 7-figure months. Like, they're everywhere. And I meet these people. I know they're real. I know they're real. I've seen it. That's why I believe in this shit. Like, I'm not some one-off success story. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's business. Business is hard. Business can suck. Business can hurt. People will disagree with you. You'll get shit on in the comment section. You'll get employees that might try to screw you over. There's a lot of, you yourself will get burnt out. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. You will have failed products. You will have failed ads. You will break landing pages. Shit will go wrong, but I'm telling you, if you stick with it and you pursue, if you don't quit, you can't lose.
Hey everyone, Alex Fedotov here, and today we have an awesome guest, a friend, a client in ESS Get Hooked program. Also, he started with BBA program, Brand Builders Academy, and he joined us in when? June? June last year, yeah. 2024. At that point, how much revenue were doing?
Previous to BBA, it was $30K for an entire year prior.
And now?
Now we're around $1 million a month.
A month, right?
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, there's like slight increase there, right? Like from 30 G's a year to like 1 mil a month. And so, and just like, he's such an awesome entrepreneur. He's sharing, I think you guys will take so many insights from this conversation, because the way you operate, the way you think, the way you execute is just like, I think a lot of people, like if people had the same attitude, like their businesses would go like ballistic. So great to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Happy to have you, man. I appreciate all your mentorship, courses, everything.
His handshake. If you ever see him in person, he'll probably break your fucking hand.
No.
So how did you start? How did you start with this brand that you're running? Like kind of like the beginning story until you started advertising it online.
Oh, like the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I'll explain it. So basically, the product. So I'll just go ahead and just explain the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I actually moved to Chicago when I was a kid with my mom and my brother. And at the time, Chicago was like a really rough place where we lived because we grew up really poor. We lived in a very bad neighborhood, really rough side of town, western side of Chicago. And my mom's a really small lady, and she had 2 young kids. She's like, I need to carry a gun. Like, we're too easy of a target. There's too much that I could lose not being able to protect my kid. And basically at that point, she was like, I'm gonna carry a gun. She was in the military, she shot guns her whole life. And she actually started like concealed carrying it, like on her body. But holsters were really big. They were really big, really bulky, blocky. Like the concealment was bad. Like you could see the gun straight through the shirt. So it was very awkward. She felt like uncomfortable. And then also they were like really big, so they like dug into you, right? Like imagine like a hard like book. Like imagine like a Bible-sized book, but it's hard. And every time you sit, it just like crunches into you. So really painful there. And she's also new to carrying. She shot a lot, but actually like carrying a gun is just a way different world. So from that point, she was like, I really need to get proficient, right? And then, so what she started doing was like, she tried like the purse carry. Well, purse carry is slow. You know, it's comfortable and concealable, but it's slow. So she was like, okay, well, this isn't gonna help me.
It's fucking heavy, right? I mean, a purse, like, I mean, you carry a gun, like that's...
Heavy, yeah, really heavy, right? And then some safety concerns as well, like somebody could take it. She became a target. And overall, man, it wasn't a good option. So she tried the holster, she tried the purse, and she was very dead set on carrying. She's like, I have to protect these kids. Like physically, if I get jumped or attacked, I'm not gonna be able to handle it. So I need a gun to kind of protect them if need be. And that was when she started actually getting her holsters and actually like cutting them way down. Like think of it like big and then like smaller and smaller and smaller, right? Thinner and thinner. So that helped with the concealment, that helped with the comfort. And eventually what even happened, she started creating like this opening in the front, and it's called like what we now call the breakout holster. And it's open in the front, so that way even if somebody grabs her and she can't get her arm out, as long as she can crank that wrist, she's gonna be able to get it on target. So it basically creates the highest probability of actually being able to defend yourself in the highest degree of threat, basically. So it gives you a massive advantage, but it's also faster. Because instead of having to like draw up and bring the gun out and then up, you're able to just basically like punch straight out of the belt line and get it on target immediately. So it goes from like 3.5 feet to like 6 to 7 inches of draw stroke is what it's called.
Oh wow!
And that's the product. And then basically what happened from there is once she had the product, well, she was going to the range, getting more and more and more proficient. Well, the thing was, as she's getting more proficient, she's getting kind of a relationship with the owner of this gun range and the managers and stuff. and they seen the holster, like, this thing is actually cool. Like, they liked it. It's new, right? It's very new. She's like, this thing is cool. Well, from there, the owner asked her to carry one, to make him one. This is not a business at this point. This is just a mom protecting her kids. And at this point, she's like, okay, well, I'll make you one. So she made him one. And from there, he really liked it. And then the employees really liked it. Well, now there's like, people that are kind of like, you look up to them, like gun store owners and managers that are around this their whole life. They're loving it. Well, from there, she was like, they were like, hey, we need you to make our customers holsters. And she's like, I guess I'll do it. Like the demand's there, right? So she was like, I guess I'll do it. And at this point, she's a single mom, like just got out of a divorce. So she hasn't worked. She's raised me her whole life. So she doesn't really have any income, like this is very new, this new life basically. So from there, she's like, okay, let's go ahead and make this for customers. Well, she went to the shop. She actually made them on the spot. She made them for people custom to their guns. And that was when we actually started that's when it started to become a business. The demand was there. It had immediate product market fit. And which we didn't even know the term. We didn't know the term product market fit. It's just, people want to buy it, Like, so that was that. And it became like pretty good, pretty fast. Then we started doing gun shows very quickly after that. And by gun shows, it's basically like a mall of guns. And it's like how circuses move around? Well, it's basically like that, but for guns. It's like you rent out like a big warehouse or like a big facility, like almost like, it could be anywhere. It could be from like a small building of like maybe like a couple thousand square feet to like a full-on warehouse like the size of Walmart.
Oh, wow.
And they normally go on for like 2 or 3 days, like normally the weekends. And we started going to those every weekend for literally until this day. We've done it for 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
10 years of gun shows. I've actually been selling the product face-to-face to customers now since 2015. Since I've been 12 and my brother's been 10 and my mom, that we sold them face-to-face to the customer. Like, I'm talking like customers walk by, we're learning sales on the fly. Like young teenagers and like actual kids learning this stuff. We never had sales training. We just were like, we believed in the product. I still believe in the product. I use it every day. And we just kind of had like, I would say, a true passion for it. Seeing like when you actually feel that literal fear of like my life could be in danger, you really appreciate the fact when there's a gun around if someone tried to hurt you, right? So you really appreciate that, like that sense of security if danger really is present, like a rough neighborhood Chicago young kid and mother kind of thing. So we had like a passion for it. And I would honestly say it was just the passion that kind of had us like, hey, you need this. It was kind of like almost like a gift to the world in a way. And that's why we pushed the product, I think, as hard as we did. And it's not easy. Like, let me tell you, face-to-face sales is hard. Like, you have to get used to rejection, like getting kicked in the teeth. Like, things are hard. You get told no more than you ever get told yes.
And it's not even like an expensive product. I mean, it's like what, $40-$50, right?
The ones that we sell now they're around 70.
Oh, okay, $70, right? And so even like a $70 like price point, like there's also like a lot of people that don't want to buy it, right? So you have to overcome that rejection.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's the thing is like, it's kind of just making them realize the value of everything, Because it's like, I think that it's far worth it just because it's like, well, do you want to actually access your defense in time or not? Like you can choose this slow, bulky leather, like, really hard holster to use in time and like extreme difficulty in terms of getting proficient with it. Or do you want something that's going to take your draw from 3 feet to inches, Do you want to be able to get to it if somebody grabs you or not? Like, because think about it, self-defense is only really a threat if they're close. If the guy is 2 blocks over, is he a threat? Probably not. But if he's a threat, if I can grab you, that's a threat. It's a lot higher likelihood to inflict harm, right? And the thing is, as a defender, if you're defending, you're already behind the ball because action is always faster than reaction, right? Like if I go to lunge at you and I go to grab you or something, at that point you have to react to what I've already done. So you're already behind the ball. The attacker always gets to choose when it happens, how it happens, the ambush, how many people they bring, if they have a gun, if they're going to use it, all of this stuff. They get to think about this for days, weeks, months, years maybe. They might have already done it 2, 3, 5 times. Repeat offensive criminals is extremely high. So, I mean, you have to think you're dealing with somebody who's like a veteran criminal. And they don't give a damn if you're okay or not by the end of what they get out of you. They don't care if you're okay or not. So, I mean, you got to think like they're willing to like ostracize you and take full advantage. So you want every advantage you can possibly get to be able to defend yourself. And that's when we started, and that's why I really believe in this product. And it's custom made, it's safe, it's secure. I've carried it every single day, and It's absolutely like safe, secure. We've never had ever out of thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of customers, probably closer to like 6 figures of customers now. Never have we had any safety issue ever. I know it's safe, it's secure. Anybody, whether they're day one or they're 10 years into carrying, I believe they can be proficient and safe with this product. And I know it delivers on everything in between because I use it. And my mom used it, and I was protected by it at one point. So that's why I think this, going back to the sales thing, why I think you can really push a product you believe in. And I know a lot of people, when it comes to marketing and sales, I actually don't necessarily, there's a lot of products I don't think are good products, but they sell.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's kind of the double-sided edge of marketing is like you can push things that aren't the best.
Oh, yeah.
Like McDonald's, like McDonald's is the biggest hamburger company in the world basically, but you could probably make a better cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It's finding this going to the marketing side, this is what you really taught us, He really teaches you can find an angle, you can find a niche. There's a million ways to make a product work.
You can sell you can sell pretty much like any product as long as there's a market for it. And those products sometimes are not necessarily the best quality, right? And people still managing to sell them very successfully. But if you pair a great product with some unique advantages and you pair it with those great marketing skills, that's where it's kind of almost like a perfect trifecta, right? Where it's there's a market that wants it, right? There's a great product that actually serves customers well, and there's great marketing that matches that consumer and the product. That's where the best products, the best brands are created.
Yeah. And one thing as an advantage I don't think a lot of people talk about is if you actually care and have interest in the product. I think that's my biggest competitive advantage. I care about the product. I shoot guns all the time. I carry a gun all the time. I'm around people who do it. I hunt all the time. I love just the mechanisms. I love the industry. I love the freedom it can give people. The idea of actually empowering someone to save themselves for their kid. That's a major thing to me. And it's one of the few things I actually do have a sincere passion about. I'll stand on a podium and talk about it with a deep belief. And I think that's one of the biggest things, man, is the angles and knowing the customer. When I write ads, I kid you not, I really don't do a whole lot of internet research. I talk to my customers face to face weekly, face to face. Hello, sir, why did you buy the product? Why did you like it? Do you enjoy it? Oh, it's your 5th one. Why is it your 5th one? You talk to people like this, and you eventually just kind of conversations just stick out. When things stick out, I write an ad. And then if the ad is good, if I think, okay, well, I'm writing this ad to kind of go about a positive aspect of why the customer loves it. I'm okay, well, what if there's a customer that what if I make this a negative thing? What if it's oh, instead of this, the guy's oh, it's such a high quality product, it's such a great product. Well, what if I make one about, hey, there's a lot of really bad products, and this is why they're bad. And then it kind of loops back. It's kind of the back door,
Yeah.
Then it brings them to why you don't want bad, you want good, And that's kind of the different stages of awareness.
Because that is in any market, there's different stages of awareness. And typically, so let's take your market as an example. Probably the people who are buying, let's say your product, they probably have bought similar products in your category before, right? And probably maybe they were happy with those, maybe they were not happy with those, but if you educate your consumers why your product is better and why all the other products are not as good, right? You also almost in a way discriminating, the kind of discriminating the competitors. And it's everyone does it, Teslas, right? They try to compare to gasoline cars, right? The whatever Mac, they were shitting on Windows or on these old ugly boxes, right? This is a piece of beauty. It's this is for the fucking old guys.
Dinosaur.
Yeah. Apple is for people that fucking creation, beautiful things, right?
Yeah.
And so in a way, that's literally I think even with the market research, to you that came organically because you talk to consumers and you also been consumer yourself with all of these different kind of products. But I think in terms of the angles for almost any product, you should for our brands, we have discrimination is one of our discriminating the competitors or why other products didn't work. It's one of our best angles and has been for years.
Yeah.
Because you are going after a market, you probably won't be the first in the market with some very unique product unless you spend a lot of time developing it. You kind of have that advantage, but most people don't. right? If I'm selling like a skincare, like a serum, probably the consumer that buys my skincare serum has tried like 25 other skincare serums and those didn't deliver for them. So I have to explain why that happened. Like, okay, maybe those products don't have certain ingredients, maybe they're not manufactured in the same way, maybe like they cut costs in certain things, maybe they're manufactured not in the right way. And so I think that education is like basically one of the main angles that people can use for their products.
Yeah, for sure. Because like one thing that, oh man, who was that cop? Steve Earle, remember at the Budapest? He was talking about like the bleeding neck issue. You know, I remember that stuck with me, like the bleeding neck thing. Like customers have a problem. And basically what he's talking about, like the bleeding neck problem is if your neck is bleeding, like you're literally bleeding out, there's nothing that you care about other than stopping that bleeding, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem, it just like consumes you. So when it comes to identifying problems, I think personally it like really highlights the customer's mind. This is a stage of awareness dependent, you know? But like when it comes to comparing things, people kind of go like, oh wow, that's why I had that problem. Or oh wow, that's why that didn't work. And when you can really hit the nail on the head, especially if you have personal experience with it, it's massive. Because you just like, they just light up, like they just know. They're like, that's exactly what it was. You're like maybe a skincare serum, like I have friends that have acne, right? They'll have acne, they'll be like, oh, they take all these different treatments and ointments and like pills, and like all this different stuff. Like it's a major thing for them. They think about acne like all day long. They're like, oh, should I talk to this girl? Does she care about my acne? Will she see it? Oh, should I go to this job interview? Acne, you know, like, oh, I don't want to take this picture. Like they think about it constantly, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like when you highlight, you know, I don't know anything about acne stuff, but you know, maybe like a certain ingredient causes their skin to itch. Maybe that's why they itch it. Yeah. And then if you identify that, you're like, hey, this product is bad because this product doesn't have this ingredient, or it does have this ingredient, and this ingredient causes itching, and itching causes acne. Or maybe you could say, hey, maybe the reason these products don't work is because they have this ingredient and they're able to put it on the label, but they don't put enough of it. Or they don't put this right ingredient, or it doesn't come from this place, or it's not pure, or it's expired, or whatever. And you can just go through all these different angles about all the reasons that it's good or it's not good. And you can just like drill into that depth. But I think you're able to get that marketing depth and potency once you have the true understanding. Like you need to know, like people talk about knowing the customer. I'm talking about, I want to know everything. When I talk about a customer, I want it to be like in my head when I'm writing marketing, I'm conversating, like I'm going back and forth with them. Like when they're like, oh, they want this benefit and they have this objection and they have this, you know, worry and they have like this previous experience. I want to be able to just like boom, boom, boom. Like I want to be talking to Jared that I met on Tuesday and deliberately making an avatar around Jared I talked to on Tuesday. And I am just drilling this guy on everything we talked about through and through.
Now, you have the advantage, right? Because you are actually, I mean, you're a consumer of your own products, right? Let's say if I'm selling to 65-year-old ladies, you know, I'm not necessarily one of them. I don't understand their pain points, right? So I also, let's say, you know, for some people, maybe they're like in Europe, maybe people watching this, like in Europe or in Asia, like they don't necessarily, and they sell in US market. So they don't necessarily have access to that, to those customers to talk to them. And maybe they don't even want, like a lot of people getting into like e-commerce because they want to hide behind their computers, right? Yeah. And just sell shit. And that's totally cool. But like, I think for those people that don't have this advantage of like directly talking to their customers, I mean, you can always call them if you really wanted to.
You really should want to.
Right. But like, you know, let's say people don't want to. At least, I think, as a bare minimum, like we even have that for our brands, like where we basically feed AI with like customer reviews, Facebook ads comments, our Amazon reviews, like basically all of the information. We have also deep research like about our products, their pain points, the language they use. We feed AI with all of that, and then it's like almost like you're almost like talking to that person. So for example, like it's kind of like conversations like, hey, what do you think about these and these products? Like, you know, I don't know, like if that product works because of X, Y, and Z, because I have tried X, you know, like tried all of these products. None of them have worked for me because I think, you know, my body is different or like my skin is different. And so you can like use AI like to your advantage. This is one of the best like applications in terms of like helping you craft that like very precise like language that customers are using. Because again, if you're not one of your customers, like you're not in the age group, you're not demographic, you're probably even not like a gender, like you can't really like speak their language, right? Like even like it's kind of like just getting in the hats of your customers and using their words in a way almost like as ammunition, because that's the words that will be like resonating the most with them, right? If they speak a specific language, they have specific conditions, they have certain like
tendencies,
like yeah, exactly,
mannerisms.
yeah, exactly. So they have this like very particular language that like if you don't do that research, if you don't like kind of like spend time on it, then your marketing will be very surface level. It's like, oh, this is the best like skincare cream. The fuck do I care? Like, I mean, there's like, I go to like Walmart, I go to like Sephora, I go to like fucking Amazon, I have like 300 of those. How is your shit different?
Yes.
Right? And so now you, again, like you have this advantage because like, and it's not like, I mean, you didn't do it on purpose and you have like, that's basically kind of like where you come from, but you also like, doing this continuously, right? You're still talking to your customers, you're still trying to understand their pain points. Like it's also as markets evolve, markets change, maybe certain like customers, priorities or what they want changes over time. You're able to stay on top and like give them exactly what they want by, having this direct line of communication. But if you don't have it, at least use AI. Like that is kind of like can consolidate all that information. And you can extract these like language patterns, like specific words they use, specific pain points, dreams, hopes, desires, and make your marketing a lot more effective.
For sure. And another thing and I do use online, I do use a lot of Amazon reviews and stuff. I do absolutely research that, because another thing is that, online and in person, people communicate differently.
Oh, interesting.
Because online, especially like Reddit threads, man, people say some wild shit on Reddit threads. I'm like, dude, I could not imagine. Like, what these people talk crazy.
They're hiding behind this like avatar with like I don't know, monkey or like a frog.
Yeah, like a robot.
Yeah, it's like a fake name or like and then like they just fucking unleash it.
Yeah, they just let it rip. But that's good though, it helps you because like you're actually getting like what their raw internal dialogue.
Because in person they also might be like, oh, they don't want to offend you. They want to say like, okay, I don't like this, and this, kind of trying to be politically correct.
Yeah.
That is a great point.
It is. But the thing is, there's kind of, that's why I think it's also important to like obsess over that customer. Just like as many data points as possible in every different context possible, know that customer. Like if you're, I don't know, like you said, middle-aged ladies or something, like get to know your aunt, your mom, get to know her friends, get to know, your mom's best friend, get to know like whoever it is that's that demographic, just like talk to them, be around them. And it's like maybe not even specific research. Like maybe it's not like, hey Susan, let's sit down at coffee and talk about my product for 2 hours. Maybe it could just be, oh, you're at a coffee shop and you listen to how Susan talks. You listen to how she looks at the world. Maybe she doesn't like this event or that event, and that event might be different than you. Well, okay, why is it she doesn't like this or that beyond just not this or that? Like think about the acne thing, going back to that, right? Okay, maybe they don't like taking pictures. Maybe they talk about, I don't like taking pictures. Why don't they like taking pictures? Do they not like taking pictures because they're gonna look at their wedding photo and be like, I look like an idiot when I got married? Are they gonna are they not gonna like their graduation photos because they're gonna have to show their kids one day and be like, my dad looked like a dork? Do they not like the idea that when like they walk around it just hurts their self-confidence, all they think about? Do they like, does it consume them all the time? Because it does. And it's actually quite cruel in their own head. So like as a marketer, you want to identify and resonate with them heavily because these people have a legitimate issue. Like it actually hurts them. Like their neck is bleeding. Like this consumes their internal dialogue massively. So you want to figure out that internal dialogue and speak to them, not like they're being spoken to, but like they're speaking out to the world. To where it's like, it's almost like, imagine if you have like this aura that's like floating out of you, right? Mm-hmm. And you're the customer that I'm trying to speak to, and you're like this aura and this like internal dialogue that none of the world knows, but that's your world. It's like the customer's world. I'm not trying to push a new world on you. I'm trying to basically like merge the messaging of my marketing into the aura you already have of the world. So that way when you hear it, you're like, that's it.
That feels like fucking person or a brand, whatever, fucking really gets me.
Gets it, yeah. Like the exact words you say. Like it's like people that are like diehard Elon Musk fans. Yeah. Why? Because he says the things that they want people to say. He says the things that maybe they can't say, or they look up to people that do say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
exactly.
with Donald Trump, right? He just fucking
Think of greatest example of all time, I think, current day is probably Andrew Tate. The guy just blasts the internet with all kinds of messaging, right? But he probably had the most virality out of any lifestyle influencer ever, maybe. He went from zero to like biggest known celebrity in the world in a matter of months, years maybe, because he spoke the internal dialogue of what a lot of youth is thinking and feeling, and he just blasted it. He just let it rip. He just let it go, right? It's not like these people, the people that felt like they were getting messages shoved onto them resented him because they don't have that internal dialogue. They resented it because they're like, there's this like external factor of communication that they don't agree with, different worldview, different avatars, right? But the people who did resonate with it, and they do have like that internal dialogue. They heard it. They heard this message, and they just like merged right in. Like imagine it's like a highway of messages, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're coming in, and your customers are like this highway, and you're like trying to get to this highway on different merging ramps. But some of the ramps, maybe they have like a dead end or it's the wrong turn. But then you finally find this merging ramp, and you're just able to just like, boom, new car, and that car is an ad, or that car is a landing page, and you're just merging in with their type of internal dialogue, and it sticks. And when you hit that like mass desire of the market, you get kind of like an Andrew Tate effect of like, oh wow, he said this message, and there's this broad desire that agrees with him, you know, and it's raw, and it's very raw, and it's like, you know, a lot of people are scared to say it, but because not many people say it, the few that actually nail it get all the attention and all the following.
Man, I loved it. It's almost like I think as marketers, like as entrepreneurs, like we're almost like psychologists, right? Our job is to brain hack. Brain, maybe not like brain hack, but like get into brains of our customers. It's like they already have something that's going on, right? And many times they wouldn't like say it out loud, but they think about it, right? And our job is to find what they think, how they think, their insecurities, their fears, their hopes, their desires, right? And like you said, I think the great point about Reddit, or maybe some other forums as well, is that that's when people actually like open up, because everyone has this like fucking wall, right? Like, yes, how you doing? Like, for example, I ask you, how you doing? It's like, yeah, everything's great. You know, the American things, like, yeah, everything's fucking great. Yeah, you know, it's like, that's like, for me, it's like, because in my country, it's like, you ask someone how's it doing, it's like, shit. Like, everything is so fucking horrible. You know, so at least, you know, people are like honest. Here's this like facade, right? Like, and then you don't discover that unless you find like these like sources of like data and information, or you maybe get like talk to person like on a specific like you know, emotional state, you know, when they're opening up, and like you can open them up with like asking like specific questions. Let's say if you talk to your customers, but that's where the gold is. That's where the gold is. That's when people saying these like quotes, they saying these words that are like just so like deep, right? And so like they express the pain or frustration or like insecurities that on the surface usually it's like hidden. And so that's why you have to dig into the customer research, either in person or online. And like that's where like your best ads will come from. Like people like, oh, my ads are like not secure. Your ads are, because they're fucking surface level. You know what I mean?
There's sure,
like you took your competitor ads, like, and you fucking recreated them like using AI without like even feeding AI with like necessary like inputs from your brand, from that customer, deep customer research, and you expect that shit to work. It's not gonna happen. And then, you know, it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, but the ads don't work because I'm not using specific cost cap, bid cap strategy. It's like, let's fucking blame everything on algorithm instead of like, I didn't do my shit, you know, to actually make it happen. I didn't like do my marketing research. Like if you're like running ads, like that's literally like 80% of everything, like just doing that research and really understanding the language that you need to use to speak to those customers on deeper level and resonate with them. Because otherwise, like they're exposed to so many, like if you think about so many ads, like, I mean, you're spending a lot of money on ads, we're spending a lot of money, like 10 million advertisers on Facebook. Everyone is fucking hammering, right? But the advantage there is like most people, they don't do this shit, right? So if you actually do it, if you actually do that research, if you use these quotes, if you use like, even sometimes like, you know, we use like, we have customers like emailing us, and they're fucking just laying out like their soul, like fucking like insecure,
those
like
are
everything.
crazy. Yeah.
And that is like, you just take it, and it's like it's like gold. It's like a fucking like, it's like so good. It's so like, oh, it's like, and you just like fucking put it on Ads Manager, and it fucking rips. You know what I mean? It's like just like, it's like you don't have to like, it's like, oh, it's like even copywriters, right? Like, okay, you hire copywriters. So, copywriter like sits and like, what should I fucking write about? Like, no, like, I mean, it's not what they want to fucking write about, or their fucking genius brain. It's like all the fucking research that they do.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, they need to use the language of the customers and how they talk about their problems and their insecurities, and like communicate it through the copy. That's all copywriting is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the fucking research. And again, with like deep research, AI these days, it's like that whole process became so much easier.
Yeah.
Like all of the platforms where people like literally laying out this soul. So I think that's such a great point, because just kind of like reflecting on your on your journey, like you've had these foundational pieces. Obviously, we started working together. Everything started to go like ballistic, you know, with ads, because in the first place, the messaging, the product were dialed in, and then you just amplified it with ads, right? You just put it in front of more people, and people resonated with it, you know, started buying your product, and your business scaled fast.
More eyes, more buys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the foundation, you know, the foundation was there. And I think a lot of people, the reason they cannot scale, the reason like it's so difficult for them to grow their businesses, and they blame, you know, external platforms, or they blame, you know, other things, is because they haven't done that homework with research.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so once you have that research, right, the biggest thing is once you have that research, like you talked about this in Dubai, it was like, oh yeah, you have this, you know, you have a winning ad. Okay, great. Now what? And then people, and that's kind of was the question that I had, right? Once I got a winning ad, it's kind of like, business is good, but wait a minute. One thing is holding us up. And it's kind of like that feeling of like, okay, it's good, but you can feel like the rug could get pulled at any moment. So like, how do you amplify the marketing? Is I think, so we have the understanding of the customer. We have the understanding of their, we have an understanding of our market, our audience, our product, everything like that. Now we have something that's hitting. And what you described in Dubai was exactly what I was doing there, where you're like, okay, most marketers are like, they're like caveman, and they just find rock and a stick, and they're just like trying to bang it together to make a fire, and then they're like, okay, some grass and a stick, and then like no fire, and then it's like, okay, and then it's like leaf and stick, no fire, stick and rock, you know, throw some water on it, maybe that'll get it going. It's like there's no data, like they're not analyzing data. It's just like random, and then finally they get a rock that hits, and then two rocks make a spark, and then a fire starts. But then it's like, okay, so all your market research is kind of like those two rocks that hit, right? You figure out what starts working. You're kind of like, this is my avatar, this is my research, this is my product, this is their desire, this is their awareness levels, all this different stuff. And then you're like, okay, well, how do I amplify this? What do I start doing to start really cranking out that marketing? And this is a huge thing you've taught me. And one of the most important things is like, once you get a winner, you can turn that winner to 100 different ads. And that's basically, in all honesty, probably the biggest thing that I've focused on. And I think it's just a massive needle mover. It's how do I turn one winning ad into 100? And post Andromeda, it was hooks, it was leads, it was footage. You could crank out like 10 winning ads with like a 50% win rate like next day. You know, but Andromeda is a little different. So now you have to be a little bit more broad. Okay, so like let's kind of go over that real quick. I'm gonna explain how we can get them to go from 1 to 100 winning ads with Andromeda, post Andromeda, right? So okay, let's say you have one winning ad. All right, so what do we have, Alex? We have avatars, stages of awareness. Avatars, stages
market
of awareness.
sophistication.
Well, more specifically like format of video, like UGC, UGC,
Static.
VSL, static, those kind of things, right? And then you have, what's the other one? I would also add for people that also sell in Europe and America, like different languages and things like that. But I'm gonna exclude that because I don't have experience there. I've always ever sold US. But let's just say, okay, we have stages of awareness. You know, the 5 stages all the way from like unaware to most aware. And then you have your avatars. And then you also have your angle. That's what I was getting to, your angles. Right? Let's say you have angle for acne. We'll keep using this example. Let's say you have like the acne keeps coming back versus the acne never goes away versus the acne leaves scars, right? Those kind of angles. So let's say you have a win. Let's say you have the acne never goes away angle. Okay, let's say that's a winning ad, right? That one right there. Let's just assume it's the same market awareness, same avatar, same everything. Okay, well that's the one angle of the acne never goes away. Okay, well now we're going to switch that. We're going to keep everything the same, and you can feed this to AI. You can say, hey, Claude, guess what? This is our winning avatar. This is the winning stage of awareness. All I want you to do is change the angle. Keep as much identical and similar to this, only change the angle. So now it goes from the acne never goes away with all the winning components, but now it's based off of the acne leaves scars, right? And now you're going after that. And then you go, okay, hey, going back to the acne never goes away, and now you have one with scars. Well, now you're going to go after the one that's, what was the other one? The acne keeps coming back, right? Okay, and then it's acne keeps coming back. And then it's whatever else it can, whatever else and whatever else. And a lot of products, there's a lot of different angles there, you know? So the angle, and then okay, well now you have that. Now you just turn one ad into 4 different angles. So you turn one winning ad potentially into 4, which now you're working with something that's working a lot better. So now if your win rate was like 10%, now it might be like 30, might be like 25, you know, something like that, because you're working with something that's proven. Okay, now we just turn one winning ad, we'll say potentially into 4.
Yeah.
Okay, immediately with like an hour of Claude. Or yeah, I would suggest Claude AI. You went over that well.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so now we have the angle. Okay, well now let's say we have the same winning ad, but instead of switching out the angle, now we're gonna go after the stages of awareness. So let's say that it was like a solution aware ad, right?
Yeah.
So now we're gonna say, hey Claude, guess what? This is a solution aware ad with this angle and this tone and this avatar. Now all I want you to do is make it problem aware, solution aware, unaware, and most aware. And I want you to change, and I want you to keep as many things as possible the same, but switch it out to these different stages of marketing awareness. And by the way, guys, you can look it up. Just look up 5 stages of marketing awareness. It's super simple to look it up. Feed that to Claude, you'll get killer results. And then you could also say, okay, well, where is a drop-off point in this ad? You know how you look at the view-through rate?
Yeah.
Like hook, hold, 25, 50, 55, 75, that? Okay, well now I look at what are the biggest drop-off points? Okay, well the biggest drop-off point, I had a really good hook, but everything dropped off after that. Well now with Andromeda, I don't know exactly how much you have to change with it, but what I would say is okay, so let's say that it's only like 25 to 50% that is a drop-off rate. Well, I would ask myself, okay, why is it that? And this is no brain science, by the way. This is no rocket scientist stuff. This is just looking at it. What I do, this is the simplest thing and it works great. I watch the ad. I'm like, okay, I'm watching the ad and I'm like, oh, why am I losing interest? Oh, just so happened that's the 25% mark. And I'm like, why did I just lose interest? Did I talk about it too long? Did I elaborate so much it was boring? Was it so fast I couldn't understand it? Was it too brutal? Was it too soft? Did it take away from the avatar? And I'm just watching it. And like you immediately, like for me, I'll feel my brain kind of click away and I know why the customer did that too. And then I'll try to like kind of go, and I'll try to make like 3 different variations of that, right? And now with Andromeda, you probably need to take a little bit broader swings, right? So maybe I wouldn't just, like I used to just do like, okay, well this is like, you know, between the 10 and 15 second mark, or maybe like the 10 and 20 second mark, I felt the drop off and I would just basically just change that, keep everything else the same, kind of keeping like really micro testing and it would work good actually. But now I might go, okay, let's see if I can change out like this whole third or this whole quarter of the ad. And then I'll go and I'll start going, okay, well, let's take these bigger swings. And then I'll make like a big elaboration. And then I'll make like it super concise. And then I'll make it like the same thing, but quite different and like a full improvement. And once again, Andromeda is new, so I don't really, and I'm not too educated on Andromeda. I've just been told to take bigger swings. So that's what I'll start doing. So then we have like the drop-off point. I'm trying to fix the drop-off point, right?
Yeah.
So you start stacking all this stuff up and you start getting winning ads. So let's say I had 2 drop-off points. I just tried 3 different variations of the drop-off points. Boom. 3 different ads with high likelihood of win rate. I just went from 1 winning angle to 4 winning angles. Boom, 4 more ads with higher likelihood of win rate. I went from 1 stage of awareness to 5 stages of awareness. Now, okay, 5. So I just went 3, 4, and 5. That's what? 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 5 is 12. I just went from 1 winning ad to 12, right? And then from there, I would be like, okay, well, what started winning? What's the better stage of awareness? What's the better angle? What's the better avatar? And then boom, okay, well, now you have a different avatar. Let's say you had like maybe a 30-year-old white guy. Well, now you have maybe a 30-year-old black guy. Now you have maybe a 25-year-old Asian lady. Now you have maybe a 40-year-old Middle Eastern lady. Now you have like, oh, maybe they shot it in their house. Now you're going to have all of them, each one of them do it in their house, on their balcony, in the mall, talking with somebody on a podcast. And you could do that with all. So imagine you have 12 of those. Let's say you have 12 new winners, right? You could go get different avatars, different environments, different ethnicities, different everything. So now you just have 5 different actors that just did all 12 of those. We just turned 1 winning ad into 60. Okay. Well, now let's say we're going to get those winning ads. We want 60. Let's just say 5 win. do the same thing.
So basically, that was a creative strategy masterclass. You have to pay for it. Like, we'll have a link. You actually have to fucking pay for it.
Well,
that was, no man, this was like, I think it's, that was priceless.
Could I add one more thing?
Yeah.
Okay, and then formats as well. So let's say you have all these different ads, right? We just went from 60, all being like, all 60 being like similar video. Okay, well, let's say now you like, let's say that was like a minute long ad. That was your winner. Okay, we now try to run it as a 5-minute VSL, a 2-minute VSL. Try to run it as like a quick little benefit. What is it called? Like feature benefit, really concise and quick, right? And then try to run it on a bunch of statics. So now you just ran 60 ads to 60 times 5 different formats, right?
Oh,
you see where I'm getting to?
300 ads.
300 ads. That's what you do. And you do that every time you get a winning ad.
And
every single time. That's what you told me. Just like crank out the creative flywheel.
Man,
non-stop. Rinse and repeat.
This is so good. Like I think the difference between like what you just outlined, right, versus like just like seeing how people operate and how people like typically do it is like they just throw shit against the wall, like randomly, right? And they kind of like hope that, some of it will work. And some of it, typically just statistically speaking, like few percent of ads like typically become winners. Like your approach is like, okay, taking something that's already proven to work, that has a product market fit, right? So if you're watching this, if you have like at least like one winning ad, that's literally the whole blueprint on how to just take something that works, something that resonates with the market already, and just amplify it through these like different variations. And also in this process, being like very like data driven, right? Mm-hmm. Because what you outline is like data driven. It's not just like, oh, this ad works. Like, let me just like, create like, okay, let me like change like few first like seconds of the video, right? That's okay. And that might work, it still, I think it still works for some people, but like in maybe like less competitive niches. But if you're in a competitive niche, like, and you're just like throwing the same kind of ads and like Facebook, let's say you're selling beauty product. The way you have to think about like Facebook in general is like, it's a big fucking casino. Huge. Like, so you've been to Las Vegas?
No, I need to go.
Right. So
next elite event.
Okay, but you heard about Las Vegas, Las Vegas, right? So Las Vegas is a casino, right? Facebook is like much bigger fucking casino, right? The reason it is casino is because it's a fucking auction. It's a fucking, and everyone is trying to bid, right?
CPM.
Everyone is like fucking throwing ads at Facebook.
Yeah.
And Facebook has to filter out and show the best ads to customers who are likely to buy, to get, they want the business to win, get some conversions, get some sales, so they spend more money on Facebook. They want the consumer to win, consumer get the product that they actually want. So kind of like trying to please multiple sites at the same time. But then if you kind of like narrow it down to a specific category, let's say you're in beauty, right? And let's say there's like, 10,000 brands that are kind of like selling in a beauty category. Like probably there's more, let's say 10,000 that are like decent advertisers. Now, like when you're putting any of your ads out, it's not just like, hey, I'm putting the ads and like, I'm praying it wins. It's like basically you're just like, okay, this is my best fucking bet. Mm-hmm. Like this is my bid. This is like, and I'm not talking about the bids. Like I'm talking about the bid in general. Like your ad, your creative, your copy, your messaging. Like all of that is like, okay, this is my best fucking work. You're presenting it to Facebook, right? And let Facebook decide, okay, is this ad is worthwhile, and at the same time you have to please Facebook and you have to please the consumer. Right? Consumer needs to like it. It needs to resonate with them so they actually make a purchase. That's why that research is so important in the first place, like we talked about. And so if you just like, let's say you have that winning ad. So winning ad by definition is like, it's pretty much like a product market fit. Yeah. Right? It resonates with a specific type of consumer, gets them to take the action with your product, get them to buy. By definition, winning ad is profitable, so you're making money from it, with sales. And so now you have to think, okay, so this is the foundation. There's something in this ad that fucking works, right? So how can I take, like you explained, take some of these elements of this ad because you have the proven foundation and like kind of like create variations of that ad for different segments of consumer, because every market, right, like you said, let's say
sure.
acne, right, like, so okay, yeah, some people would have acne that's coming back, some people have acne because, like, I don't know, they live in a fucking, I don't know, maybe they not getting enough sun, right, like maybe they're getting in those kind of states or those kind of countries. And so, like, and there's so many like segments, right? It's micro segmentation of your market.
Exactly.
Because,
precisely.
yeah.
I completely agree.
So like with your product, like you said, I mean, it could be like, okay, like there's could be some ladies that want to protect, like the same story as your mom wanted to protect, kids, right? There's could be some people that have dangerous jobs. Like, maybe they go like, or they live in tough like neighborhoods, or they just like, maybe they're just fanatics of guns, maybe they just like that. And so but each one of these persons, like of these people, is a different person. So coming back to the research, kind of to that part, I think one part to add to it is like, as you do this research, you try to identify like almost like different customer like personas. Because if you just talk to like one persona, I mean, yes, I mean, you'll achieve certain scale, but like you will probably hit like a certain like saturation point. Like there's only, let's say there's only like, let's say beauty market again, as an example, is like, okay, you have, there's only so many like Afro-American people that are like interested in this product, that you can show this particular ad format on this stage of awareness that will buy your product. And like once that segment is saturated, kind of like Facebook kind of like showed your ads to that particular segment, you probably can see it kind of like your frequency. Like if your frequency is going up, like yes. It means you're hammering the same people again and again and again. It means like Facebook is like, oh shit, I mean, I don't fucking know like who to show these ads to. Like, help me. Give me some other good shit that I can send to other segments of consumers. And like Facebook is fucking crying like Zuck in a bunker. Like
Zuck is shaking, bro.
He's like, bro, like give me some fucking like ads. Give me some good ads like to show to different segments of consumers to keep them happy, because Facebook wants to keep consumers happy. And if they're hammering the same consumer with the same ads, with the same stage of awareness, with the same angle, again and again and again, consumers stop responding, they get frustrated, user experience gets worse, which Facebook doesn't fucking like, hates it. And so now like they want you as advertiser to give them some more good shit and to hit into all of these like different segments. One of the things, like one little hack that we do is like, and it's very funny, like we take all of our like customer list, we upload it into AI. So customer list, you have your, two hacks I'll give you. Like number one, if you see ads, like let's say you have consumers, let's say you have like 1,000 customers, right? Mm-hmm. You go to their Shopify profile, you copy their fucking name, you go on Facebook, you find them. What this person looks like. Is that person like Afro-American, Caucasian, Asian? What age they are? Like what interests they have? What kind of like, maybe like they're watching specific news channels? Like, okay, if they're watching news channels, okay, maybe we could test ads with like, specific
news format, like headline format. Yeah,
right. So we kind of researching that like on a manual basis. Comments on your ads, like what kind of people are commenting? Like go to their profile.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
So that's that. Another thing, take your customer list, upload it into AI, and like so let's say you have a customer with a last name of like Rodriguez. Probably Latino, like Spanish, like living in the if we're targeting the United States, probably living in America. If we have, sometimes, it's like Smith, right? It could be like anyone, right? But could be like Wang, right? Like probably Asian ethnicity, right? And so you ask ChatGPT, okay, based on this consumer data, what kind of ethnicities are typically buying my product, right? It won't be 100% precise. It won't be like 100% accurate, but at least it will give you some indication of the last names by the last names of people. It's kind of like more consolidated data. Like it's not, again, not super precise, but at least, maybe you see like a lot of like Asian like last names, and you're not using Asian actors on your ads. You're not using like Asian people on your product pages, landers, right? So it's like, let's say if I'm an Asian person, but they're still buying it, right? Like, so they still like somehow.
Yes. Yeah, keep going. This is golden. Yeah.
Man, it's like kind of like the data is already there, especially if you already spent like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on ads. Like your next angle, your next big fucking breakthrough is literally fucking sitting in your ads manager. It's literally sitting on your ads. It's sitting on your like customer reviews. It's sitting in your like Shopify like CRM with all of your customers. And you just have to like go deep. I think that's the key, right? So whether it's with research, I mean, that's kind of research. That's still part of the research. Like
massively. Like what you were just talking about, I honestly never even thought about this as research. I just did it because I was curious. But like going on comments and seeing people, like, you know, I'm like, who's this guy? You know, they talk like a hate comment. I'm like, who's this jerk talking on my ad? So I'll go on there and I'll look at him and I'll check him out and all this. Then a guy will be like, oh, I love it. It's my 5th one. I'm like, okay, who's this guy? What's he doing? You know,
liberals.
Like, what?
Liberals.
I'm not gonna get into it. But they're like, yeah, you know. But like, I'll look at like the people that hate it, like polarizingly hate it, and people who really love it, and then people that are curious, like people that have questions. Like if people ask questions on your ads, by the way, golden. That needs to be an FAQ. That needs to be an email follow-ups. That needs to be to all your customer service agents. That needs to be in the ads.
That could be angle for your ads.
Objection handling. Boom. Like you talk about this all the time. Like if you have, let's say, you know, what, a 5% conversion rate. Let's say you have a 5% conversion rate. Well, that means 95% of people looked at your ad, looked at your landing page, and said, "I'm good."
Yeah.
And 5% bought, which you know is like that can, depending on your product and niche and price and all that, can be decent. But 95% still said, "No, I'm good." Just think about how many people, like you say, go on your page and they're interested. Think about this. They just watch the ad all the way through.
Yeah.
How many of you watch an ad and you're like, oh, this is interesting? They just watched a whole ad, had the desire built up to go click on a product page that's not super flashy, dopaminergic, crazy, you know, activity on social media, went to a landing page, looked at this landing page, scrolled around on there, took it into consideration, had something go on in their head, and they're like, nah. And that's 95% of them. So what is the nah? What is it? Is it that the desire wasn't like peaked enough? Did they not have enough trust? Was it one thing that they were like, I need this in 3 days? Is it get here in 3 days? And then they're like, they don't see the fast shipping. They don't see that you make it in the US and you ship it in 3 days. They don't see that, oh wow, okay, if I don't like this, if this acne serum doesn't work, I can return it in 30 days. Because they've been scammed a million times. They hate these bad products.
Yeah.
So they don't see, oh, I can return it. They don't see, or maybe they're very advanced in the market and they're like, oh wow, I can do a subscribe and save. Like they know maybe, I don't know anything about acne serum, but maybe they know in the acne serum, oh wow, I need to use this for 90 days. Well, it's expensive if I buy this every day for 90 days, but if I buy it for the subscribe and save, I save 30%.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh wow, now I need that 30%. You know, or maybe they have a bundle and they're like, I want to buy it right now. And they buy a 90-day supply right now. Well, now they're like, okay, well now I'm going to get the result. Right? And that's like, those are some of the things that, like when I'm looking at comments, that people are like, you know, the product I sell, they're like, is it safe? Is it secure? Is it going to cover the trigger? Will it loosen up? Will the gun fall out? Like, what if I work a hard job? All these different things. You better believe that's in my FAQ. That is in all of, like a lot of my ads talk about safety. A lot of my ads talk about FAQ. And when I first started marketing, I almost didn't consider it. I honestly, it sounds stupid, but I didn't think about that as much as I do now because I just used it for so much. And because I already had so much trust built up in it, seeing it made, seeing it used, I had so much trust. I was just like, yeah, it's a great product. Of course I'm gonna use it, you know? But then as a customer who's looking at something through a screen, they need to be told that. Like they have this objection. It's an objection that's stopping them from buying the product. And hopefully you're selling a good high quality product that provides a good result. So I look at it as like a literal duty to make sure that this person knows it's gonna be good or bad. And I will tell them it's bad for some people, and I will tell them it's great for others. And when you're having that objection handling, you wanna really be clear like, hey, I know you have this concern because I know you as my customer, and I wanna let you know that this is an absolute yes or an absolute no. You know, like going back to, like for example, like revolvers, different type of gun than semi-automatic, where I'm like, yeah, no, we don't sell to them.
Oh,
we don't work with those for specific reasons on how the product operates. Like it's a lot harder to like break it through and get that draw mechanism, and we can't keep it as safe because it doesn't have as much to hold on to, and the weight and the distribution and the pressure and like it's called retention of the product. We haven't figured out how to like create that to the sophistication and the potency we would like, so we don't offer it. And I'll tell them we don't offer it, and no, we don't have it, and no, you shouldn't buy it, and I don't want you to buy it. but we do have this other product that does work good with it, yada, yada. But for this specific customer, no, it doesn't work. For this other customer that carries, a Glock 19, the most common gun in the world, yes, it's going to work. It's going to work fabulous. It's nearly the identical one I carry. I know it works great. You're going to love it. It's going to be safe, secure, comfortable, concealed, fast draw speed. It's going to look cool. It's going to be sick. It's going to last forever, everything.
On your journey, so I remember, so when we started first working together, right? You started like running ads like July was July 2024, your first full month.
Full month, yeah.
So how much you did in revenue?
The first half a month was June, and that was like 14K.
Okay.
And then second full month was 74K.
Okay.
So July.
And then it just went up from
yeah. And then it like doubled for like a couple months straight, but then manufacturing became a massive constraint. And once we were getting longer lead times and we couldn't handle the demand as hard, and we basically kind of had to like level because we were like, well, how is it we're going to be able to like sustain this? And I realized that scale wasn't everything at that point. So we kind of dialed back and then started building a lot more infrastructure.
What were the biggest like paradigm shifts? So as you started like advertising, like you didn't even build like a landing page, right? Before you started before you joined the program, right?
Oh man, I was a mess before I joined the program. I've been in digital marketing now for like 3 years, maybe 3 or a little, maybe, I don't know, a little more, a little less. I don't have an exact date, but man, I learned eCom totally backwards. Like I've had some horrible mentors, like garbage mentors. And I'll tell you, like mentors are major. They're probably the biggest needle mover outside of your own internal dialogue, but they can steer you the complete wrong direction or they can completely change your life. And unfortunately, when you're new to it, it's a lot of numbers games. You don't know who's good, you don't know who's bad. Everybody has the Twitter revenue screen and you know, it's so easy to make them up. And like when you're young and you're new and you don't know anything, you're so gullible because you don't know what's good or bad. Marketing has such a broad spectrum, like there's just so many different forms of marketing and so many different opinions. And a lot of things that you learn may not be directly applicable to you, and that can really hurt you. So like long story short with mentors, man, like I think getting the right one is the biggest needle mover. Like, okay, and by the way, I will stand here on stage, on camera, and I will tell you guys, if you are new, you need to join BBA. And if you're scaling, you need to join ESS. I really believe it. I think if you don't join, I really believe you're going to lose money. You are losing money if you don't join. I really mean that. Because like I've been through a lot of different programs, like 3 or 4, and for the longest time, man, I thought it was me. And it probably was. I take full accountability. It probably was because I was new, I was young, I didn't know anything. But I look back at it now, like at a whole different, part of life and competency in the craft, and I'm like, how could anybody teach this? Like, I don't know how these mentors go to sleep, like these gurus go to sleep at night and they're like, I just charge somebody like 5, 10K to learn this. They're, single mom, college student, whatever. And they're like, I'm going to teach them this. And I know it's not going to work. Because the funny thing is I even see in their strategies, they don't even follow their own strategy. But they teach it because that's what they market, because that's how they can kind of differentiate themselves. But, what was the exact question again?
So you joined
the years.
You didn't have any like experience, like what was your like kind of like biggest, like depending on like, I mean, you've been through kind of like several stages now.
Like the foundation to now?
Yeah, the foundation, kind of like the biggest breakthroughs, let's say, that got you to like 100K a month. Okay. Then let's say 500K a month and then like 1 mil. Like what were the biggest like needle movers on each stage?
Yeah, biggest needle mover, absolute from zero, is 100% joining BBA. Undoubtedly. Like there's nothing even close in my head that was near the potency of that. Because I basically, I started working with my coach. Shout out Jeremy, amazing guy, love him to death. And like working with him, basically like you got to think you're working with a guy. What does he have, like 6-7 years of ecom experience? Yeah. Like 6 or 7 years of ecom experience, multi-8-figure entrepreneur, been doing it consistently, lives his own life, like relies on his own ecom business to provide for him. And the thing is like working with him, I basically went from like 0 degrees of experience to straight to 7. Because a guy that has 7 years of experience is telling me exactly what to do at this step, and he's done it over and over and over, like eyes closed. So like that was major. I basically went from 7 years of experience right off the jump, having a good mentor. So that was the biggest needle mover, bar none. Join BBA. If you're new, I cannot suggest it enough. It's worth the price. I paid it with my own money. I literally my last single dollars that I had. And like, I cannot tell you enough. Like, it is the biggest needle mover of my life that I've ever experienced. And I've been through a lot of shitty programs. And I wish somebody would be on camera telling me, join this, do this. I think so many people are scared to like say something and mean it because they're like, well, I don't know. What if somebody gets a different result? Well, okay, yeah, if you don't put work in, you probably won't get a result, sure. But like, the thing is like, if you put the work in and you put the effort in, I'm actually, side note, teaching one of my best friend, I've known him since 8th grade. I'm now teaching him e-commerce. He just launched his first product yesterday. Second day in, he made about a 20-something% profit margin second day in. Killer. Third product he's ever launched. I taught him the exact same thing my mentor taught me verbatim. So like, now it's not only as a student I've been able to implement, but now being a mentor, teaching a student I've been able to implement. And like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and blab anymore. Go to his channel, look up BBA interviews. He has, for sure, dozens and dozens and dozens of interviews, maybe hundreds.
Probably
close to hundreds, I'd imagine.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, probably, I would say at least dozens, maybe even hundreds of interviews of success stories of guys going from 0 to like 5-figure months, 6-figure months, 7-figure months. Like, they're everywhere. And I meet these people. I know they're real. I've seen it. That's why I believe in this shit. Like, I'm not some one-off success story. There's so many guys that have been through this. Like, Mark's been through this. Jeremy, my coach, he was the one, he got massive momentum joining your program. Yeah. Mark had massive momentum joining your program. There's been so many guys that I've seen in BBA and now they're in ESS and I've met them at these events. Like, the shit works. It works beautifully. And it's like, and it's like very above board. It's very above ground. You could run a business doing this. It's not shady. It's completely real. You're running a real company. You're running it like, you're running something that is extremely lean, kind of easy to get the hang of. Yes, there's learning curves, but if you go through that discomfort, the results I really, truly, bottom of my heart, believe will be there for you. Now, don't expect, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's business. Business is hard. Business can suck. Business can hurt. People will disagree with you. You'll get shit on in the comment section. You'll get employees that might try to screw you over. There's a lot of, you yourself will get burnt out. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. You will have failed products. You will have failed ads. You will break landing pages. Shit will go wrong. But I'm telling you, if you stick with it and you pursue, if you don't quit, you can't lose. And if you stick with it long enough and listen to your mentor, the guy that's getting the results ahead of you, I think the results will follow you as well.
People will say, like, I paid you for this in the comments.
I mean, I hope, guys, if I see you in BBA or ESS, hit me up on school. Austin on school, just look it up. I'm in the community. I'm still there. I still have it on my phone. I still join the group calls. I still get on the courses. I still watch a lot of that stuff to this day. And by the way, I've only watched maybe like 20 or 30% of the whole course in ESS, and I probably watched like 50% of BBA. And the reason is that when you're joining these communities, first off, you should take them very seriously. Cut everything else out. Throw out the noise, throw out your ego, fuck everything else but this community. And you need to drill into that community. Whatever it says is what you do, right? And what I'm getting to is, because by then, if it works for you, you'll know it works. If it didn't work, you know it won't work. Instead of going like, oh, I kind of did it it kind of work? Oh, I kind of did this and it kind of worked, but I didn't do this and it didn't kind of work. And like, when you have all these like untied knots, you don't know it really works. But when you drill, like, I joined this other community for over 1.5 years, and that was the community teaching me to get to 30K for the whole year, right? And I knew when I left that community, this is garbage. I am through with it. Like, a whole 1.5 years of work for 30K in revenue. Like, I took no money out, basically made nothing. The community itself, I want to say, was like 5 or 6K. So I mean, if you think about profit margin, it was basically nothing. Like, it was a lot of wasted time and well, no, it wasn't wasted time because it led me to here. So it was actually a great bridge. It was a great journey. But what I'm getting to here is like, when you join the community, don't do this, oh, I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna think about it, oh, I don't know, should I have joined? No, fuck it, you join, you're in. All the way in, neck deep. Neck deep in water. Everything they say, do it, do it, do it, do it. Like, if the coach tells you it needs to be on paper getting done same day. Same day. It needs to be started same day. It needs to be ideally done within 72 hours if at all possible. Before the next call, I want that done. When I get back on a call with Jeremy, he's like, hey, did you launch this ad? Did you run this PDP? Damn right I did. Here's what happened. And I really mean it. Like I really want to make sure that, like, when this guy's telling me something, I'm going to get a clear idea of if he's a good coach or not. Because if I do exactly what he says and it doesn't work, I know exactly the result he's going to lead me to. And if I do exactly what he says and it does work, I know exactly the result he's leading me to. And that's what I'm getting to is, like, when you follow through with it, you get clarity quickly. And you'll get results, good or bad, one way or the other. And either way, if you If it didn't go well, you learned. If it did go well, you grew. Or you grow either way. You grow, but if it does go well, you actually get the result you're looking for. And it's creating like data points as to what you should follow to get better results. You know, but yeah, BBA, biggest needle mover for sure by far. Once I joined BBA, like I said, like, you know, I went from 30K in revenue to 14K 2 weeks into running ads, and 75K, 74K the next month, you know, so on and so forth. Then it was like 6 figures very quickly, then like fractions of millions, bigger fractions, and then like actually a million within about like, I don't know what it is, like 14, 15 months or something. 13, 15 months.
Yeah, and the constraint was like, it's not even like the scaling itself, like you said, it was more like the manufacturing capacity.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We had to stop for that's been our breaking point every time. If I showed you my revenue, it'd be like up, 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 and then it was like, oh gosh, we gotta stabilize. Mm-hmm. And then it was the same thing. Like then it was stabilize, build infrastructure, train, get more legal structure, get like, you know, figure out like, okay, patents. By the way, get a patent. If you have a good product, we damn sure got a patent. So like, get that shit immediately. So yeah, get your patent, get your LSC, all this stuff. And then it's like structure, get employees, this and that. And then it was like, okay, we're good, we're stable, up again, right? And it's just like, you're just hitting that gas. But things also go wrong. So it's like, you gotta keep that momentum going. Like it's constant momentum, just like new problem, new solution, new problem, new solution, solution, problem, solution. You know, it's like, and so rapid execution, I think, is the most important thing. Like think about this, right? Think of God, right? God, when he decides on something, it's immediate, it's instantaneous. Like he doesn't even decide it just is created. Mm-hmm. Like creation, it's not even like creation is. Like he thinks of something and it's just, I don't even know, he doesn't even think. I don't know. I don't want to speak on behalf of him, but like, you know what I mean? Like something happens, it's immediate, it's instantaneous, it's beyond instantaneous. That's what a God-like figure is. They're able to make speed so concise, it's absolutely immediate. So like the closer you can get to like immediate speed of execution, the more godlike you are as a company. And I don't mean, I'm not comparing myself to God at all, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's like the ultimate power is if his ultimate power is being able to like, the execution is so magnificent and excellent and immediate that like, that's kind of how I look at it as like the ultimate like, one of the ultimate advantages in business is the speed, which is why a coach is so important because information's everywhere. There's millions of YouTube videos, blogs, SEO, Reddits, all this stuff. There's information everywhere. The benefit of the coach is that the coach takes away all that noise and information. They've ran the exact same business structure as you. They know what 0 to 10K to 100K to a million to 10 million looks like. They know what that looks like. So they're taking out all this noise, all this information. They're parting the sea for you to know exactly where you need to go. And they're like, walk this path. And if you walk that path, you're having the highest probability of success. And that's why a mentor is the biggest needle mover from where I've ever been to where I'm at now. The right mentor, join BBA, join ESS. I swear, I do it. Like I'm asking, like there's so few people on this earth that have the ambition to join, to even go after entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
A bunch of people will think about it. Very few will ever start. Many will start, or very few will ever start. Very few will follow through. Very few will ever get the result, and very few will ever get the finite results of like 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure brands. So like the fact that you're watching this and you have the courage and you have the fucking balls to even think about it and actually start implementing it. Like, congratulations, brother. I don't care if you're at day 1 or day 1 million or you're at 100 million a month or 1,000 in your whole lifetime. I don't care. Like, you can get here. This is for you. If you have that drive and you have the mindset and you have the dedication, it will work out. If you don't quit, you can't lose. So just start implementing and executing quickly. But that's why I advocate so much for coaches, especially BBA and ESS, is because that was what got me here. And you only have the thing is you only have so much finite time on earth and you're trying to move at such a fast speed. Like this is the thing that clicked for me, and I've seen it replicably happen for so many students that I am just fucking convinced this is where you need to be. If you're serious about it and you want the financial freedom and you want the lifestyle freedom and like you want to build shit your customers love and like you get excited to build better products for your customers and like just think about like the admiration your parents look at you with when you're like 22 and they're like, how the fuck did this guy just build $1 million business? He should be in college. How did he do this? You know, it's like, or your family members that have self-doubt and they have limiting beliefs and they're like, this cousin just did this. Like, I got to get my shit together. I need to be a better human. I need to be a better man. I need to man up. I need to get my shit done. I need to take things seriously. I have one life and I'm wasting it. Like, think about the inspiration you give people and the amount of like, just like shattering of limiting beliefs you give to them when you've done it and they're looking at it in the flesh in real life with the data behind you to prove it. And you walk through life with that inspiration to give to other people. Like, it's not just the money. Like, at first, have whatever motivation you want, bro. I don't care. Do whatever motivates you. If it's you just hate that dumb girlfriend that fucking cheated on you, you just want to just like shove a Lamborghini in her face and be like, get fucked, you lost. Do it. Like, if that's your motivation, right? Like, if you have the motivation, like you want to retire your mom and like give your kids a great college education and like move out of a country you don't like, do it. If you want to give like a gift to the world by giving your customers the best things ever, do it. You know, like whatever your motivation is. Like, I think the motivation cycle, I think they happen a lot. You know, if you just like hate this competitor because you think they just give horrible products and you know they're causing harm to people, and you're like, I want to give this product because it's just better, do it. Whatever your motivation is. But like, if you're wanting to execute quickly and get the result, I really advocate for BBA and ESS. Big rant, I know, but I just believe in it.
My man.
But you were saying like the needle movers though.
Yeah.
Like, so yes, get a coach. Get the coach for sure. Join. Biggest needle mover for me to date. But after that, man, like once you start getting momentum, right? Like let's start more of like, most guys are like testing products, they're getting suppliers, things like that.
Yeah.
So let's go after it for them, right? Let's go ahead and start from the 0 point. So what I would suggest is like, so you're gonna look for something that already has demand. I think that's really major, right? So if you're starting out, you want to show demand. Like you talk about competitive markets are a good thing. When you have competitors, it's a good indication it's gonna work because it's actually already working. So like I think in BBA, it's like, what, 100K visits on SEMrush to a website, and then at least 100 ads running on Meta, and then which you can look at Facebook Ads Library, and then the last one is, oh man, what's the very last one?
I mean the product.
Oh, they're actually running that product. Like you can specify there's one product that they're running that's getting the 100K views. It's not like their whole website. So anyway, you have those three specifications. That gives you good indications the product is going to work. And then I would add, I think product differentiation is pretty major.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a pretty big deal. So then you have product differentiation, yada, yada.
What if you don't have?
If you don't have it, your marketing is also your biggest differentiator. Because you told me this, think about it like this. Your ads are your biggest CRO lever. They're your biggest everything lever. Because think about it, what's a good hit rate for an ad? What's a good hit rate for a company?
In terms of ads?
Yeah.
Like 10-15%.
Okay, so let's say you have a 10% hit rate, meaning out of 10 ads you launch 1 wins, right? So out of 10 ads you launch 1 wins. Okay, well from that point, 9 of them just lost, 1 of them won. That one that just won basically just brought you from negative to positive, right? So that means that you could sell the same product 10 different ways, but only one way is going to stick and resonate hard enough with a customer to where they're going to buy it. So what I'm getting to is that you can sell the same product and differentiate off only marketing and still dominate by far. Even within your own brand, you'll see one ad dominates above the rest, right? So it is product different. The marketing is your differentiation.
What's your so okay, you shot many of the ads yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Like were those like the biggest like winners for you?
Yeah, they're pretty massive. Yeah. I shoot I'm in almost all of our B-roll. If I'm not in it, I record a lot of it. I'm a huge fan. Like, be a founder. Like own that shit. Like, head up, shoulders back. Like, march the front line and like put the work in to get stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, it's like for you, it's because again, you're a consumer of your product. Like, it's slightly different for you, right? For people that are like watching this now, like let's say again, like if you're selling to older ladies, you're not like an older lady,
I couldn't
right?
fit the part. Yeah.
So in that case, you would, I mean, you could use like actors and stuff like that. You just have to understand like who's really buying your product, like really like deep understanding of that avatar or multiple customer segments, so that you can leverage that. I mean, even for you, like even right now, probably like, and you're probably reflecting on this too. Like, there's probably other like customer segments that.
Yeah, it's almost infinite.
Yeah,
it almost is. You know, like there's just so many different ways to communicate. It's like but okay, let's do this. This was a major thing that I had a problem with when I first started. So you get a product, you have a page, whatever, something's working, right? You're getting sales and they're not negative. Like you're getting profitable sales. Okay, so once you start getting that, what happens? So you go through those 4 criteria of finding a product that works. You get it up, you're running like a couple ads, one of them starts working, you're getting profit, you're like, yo, life-changing. Congratulations, brother, by the way. That's the marathon right there. That's the hardest part. So congratulations, and you can do it. Just great quote, by the way. What you need to make up in numbers for what you lack in skill, which basically means building experience through repetition rapidly. So basically, anyway, keep launching products, keep launching ads, learn from each. But anyway, once you get that product, something's working, then what you're going to want to do, and I've heard a couple different ways of doing it, but if it was like, I'm selling the exact same product to somebody else, Then what I would do is I would go to their ads manager and be like, okay, what are all the products? Use Get Hooked, right? If you can afford it, use Get Hooked. Great program. I use it every day. Use Get Hooked. Go through it. See like what is the star ratings? What is like how many views do they have? How many comments do they have? Look for the one that has the most engagement, because that means it's not only been running the most, it's been getting the most spend. Meaning it's getting the most sales and they're pushing it hard. They're scaling ads for the most part. So anyway, then you look at that, you see, okay, this is why this ad is winning, this is why this ad is winning. Don't rip it. Don't rip it. Like, my goodness, bro. I see so many drop shippers like just pull the whole ad identical and they throw it in their ad account and it's banned. Like, don't do that. First off, it's illegal. Second off, it can get you in a lot of trouble. It'll hurt you more than you would expect. So don't rip completely. But basically look at it, try to analyze why it's a winner, try to figure out why it's a winner, look at it and try to mimic things. Similar demographics, similar script, similar length, similar tone. And by the way, you can just literally copy the transcript right out of GitHub.
Yeah.
So I mean, you literally just paste it in a Notion or Google Docs and you just start changing things up. And then basically ask ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, hey, can you make sure this won't be a copyright infringement? Make sure it's not a copyright infringement. Take bigger swings, I would say. Try to make it at least 50% different, at least from your competitor. Different but the same, you know what I mean? Like maybe if they say acne is painful, you could say acne creates pain or something, you know? Same thing but different, right? So then I would go after that. Look at their highest probability of winning ads. And then what I would do is start running those similar ads. I would be like rapidly executing. I would be trying to get like 10 ads. Well, this is kind of the problem though. They're probably going to ask, how do I get B-roll? How do I get footage? Find somebody that looks like the customer.
B-roll is easy these days. I mean, you can create all the B-roll you need, like with VO.
Oh, really?
Clink. Oh, shit. I mean, man, it's like...
Really? I need to do that.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it's
cool.
like, I mean, even for your product, like you can look with Mark.
Cool. Killer, by the way.
Yeah, it's basically like Clink. So Clink, you can make like, you can take like an image and turn it into the video. VO, like you can basically just prompt it. Whatever image you can upload the image of, let's say, like an actor and a product, like and basically just create like a video with that product. Yeah, I think in terms of the B-roll, like with AI these days, it just became so much easier, like for people to just put it together, and it's very realistic. Like a few months ago, it was, you could see that that's like off. Now, like you can basically change faces. There's a tool called
Expressions?
Higgsfield.
Higgsfield.
Yeah, Higgsfield. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's like all of that part is like so much easier these days. As long as you prompt it, I mean, you'll have to spend some money on it. It won't be free, like completely, but it will be cheaper than, let's say, shipping the product to the creator. It takes like, a few days, maybe a week. Then they get a product, then they shoot it. That's great. I mean, you can still use it, but if you want just like speed and like get something out, pretty much like all the B-roll you need like would be created using AI.
And by the way, this guy, like every call I get on, it's like, I'm like, I need to hire this or that. He's like, AI, I got you. You just send me some prompt or some AI. He's an AI legend. He loves AI. I do too, by the way. So like with the AI, with B-roll, yes, so you have like AI, but another thing is like, I'm a huge advocate of like, get your hands dirty and go record it with similar avatars. If you have like selling to like 40, 50-year-old ladies, maybe try to ask like your mom, your aunt, or her friend, somebody like screw it, just go to the mall and ask people, hey, would you like this product? Cool, I'll give you a free one. I'm starting a new brand, I'm a founder. Explain the story behind it, how it helps people, yada yada. And then they might be interested. They definitely might have some interest in like want to help out like young entrepreneurs, old entrepreneurs, who cares their age, like whatever. They might be inspired by it and they want to help, get their hands in there and like you explain, they might be down for it. Ideally, just like people that are closer to you because it's easier, closer barrier to entry, more trust,
Yeah.
But get the B-roll. Hey, acne serum. Hey, Aunt Susie, would you mind if I get a video of you like putting some acne serum?
Yeah.
On? Boom, done. Acne serum, B-roll. Get it in her bathroom, your bathroom. I don't know, truck stop. I don't know, some crazy stuff.
It's being like
resourceful.
Scrappy, resourceful.
Massive.
Yeah, because I think it's like a lot of people also like overthink it because they want like have everything like perfect. Like it has to look perfect. The B-roll has to be perfect. The actor has to be perfect. Like all of these like assets have to be perfect. But like even if you get something out like very fast, right? Like maybe you like shoot B-roll with your phone, right? Like if you're like product demonstration.
Right here, 100% of my B-roll.
Oh, really? No
look,
shit.
Yeah, look at this. Double click, boom. We're getting B-roll. Like we're doing good. This is product. This is it. Like That's exactly right. It's resourcefulness, you know? Like, I think that's one of the biggest things that separates A players from, like, C players. Is people that are, like, they got to have, like, you know, if you have, like, a C player employee, you got to give them everything perfect. You got to, like, watch them. You got to make sure they're on time. You got to, like, manage them. You got to be like, you know, like, give them every SOP, A through Z, like, step 1, 1.1.2. Like, that's a C player. They got to have everything handed to them and slow and, like, perfect. A players, they're just, like, out the door. Like, you give them the login to their computer, and they're just, like they're giving you like everything, like whatever their role is, they're just like banging it out. And I think it's the same thing with entrepreneurship. Like you basically the goal is do more with less. You know, that's kind of the whole goal of the game. So like, yeah, man, B-roll. So you get those winning ads, you know, you get a winner or two, you start figuring out the what's it called? The commonalities between other winners amongst your competitors. Start getting B-roll, do it quickly. You can do AI, you can do family members, you can do friends. And then from there, you want to get as much B-roll as possible. Jeremy, my coach, he was saying, I just asked him the other day about my friend. I was like, yo, once you start getting a winner, then what do you do? And he's like, oh, well, then he's like, I was like, what's the biggest thing? He's like, offer testing and footage. He's like, I would immediately start getting B-roll ASAP, send it out to creators, get it in-house, shoot B-roll, like send it out to 10 creators immediately, get a bunch of B-roll, yada, yada. And then you have this whole, like, dude, our Google Drive is ridiculous. Like, I'm talking like, it takes you like minutes to just scroll through the whole B-roll thing because it's so much B-roll. And then from there, you give your editors, or you edit. I edited videos till we were well into multi-million-dollar run rate myself. Like myself, like I didn't care. I'm just getting them out the door. You know, like rapid execution. I cannot stress it enough. And then speed. Speed literally defies gravity. Like it literally is what keeps planes floating in the air. You know, like it's massive. So anyway, speed is like a massive advantage. Well then anyway, so yeah, you're getting that speed. You're getting the B-roll, and now you can just pump out a bunch of scripts. You get your AI primed up. You get the scripts. You start pumping out scripts, like I had said earlier, different awarenesses, avatars, angles, formats, different AI, or different, you get AI and UGC. Well, now you can use AI voiceovers, like 11 Labs, for example. You know, or like Heijin or something. Great, check them out, guys. Actors and voiceovers, killer stuff. And then from there, you're able to start, you know, now you have your actor speaking, like your speaking actor, your background actor. You use floating heads, you can do whatever. So you have that, now you have your B-roll, now you have your script. You're banging out ads. You're banging them out. You give it like within a matter of like, I don't know, it depends if you can get somebody in your family to do it or not. I mean, within a matter of like maybe a couple days or like max, it shouldn't take you more than a couple weeks. Like you should have like ads like out the door. I'm talking like just like as fast as you can hit like Control D and like launching ads on Ads Manager, just like cranking them, you know?
And it's like when you launch these ads, like it's like I mean, most of them probably won't work, right? And that's okay.
And please let me add this in here. One of the biggest things that when you're new to it, you're almost scared to lose because you're like, I don't have much money. Like I'm broke. I started piss broke. I'm talking broke. I made like after taxes less than 20K my whole entire previous year for multiple years straight. Like I'm talking broke, like poverty line, piss poor broke. Like I cannot stress enough. I'm not coming from some high up rich family at all. I grew up poor. Had no rich uncle, had no rich friends, had no connections, nothing. It was me in a library or a gas station lobby working day and night for like 16 hours a day for years on end until it finally cracked. And now here we are. If you don't quit, you can't lose. Massive importance. But anyway, so like but in the beginning you're like, I don't have money, I don't have the resources, I don't know what I'm doing, and you just gotta take the hits, bro. Like you're gonna lose. Like he said, 10% hit rate. Out of 10 ads you launch, one will win. So basically the race is how fast do you launch 10 ads to get that next winner.
And it's like, you know,
so don't be scared to lose. Don't have any fear of losing. Like brother, if you come to me, you're like, yo, I launched 100 ads and I lost every ad. Every ad lost, I'd be like, congratulations, you're winning. Versus the guy who launches one ad and he doesn't launch one for 3 months, I'm gonna be on his ass 10 times harder than the guy who has 100 ads launched. Now those are both extremes, you know? They're both extremes. You don't want either. You don't want to be the guy who's just like, rapid, and he's not thinking. He's just sloppy and nothing's happening. He has no thoroughness. He's not fat. Like he's not learning anything. He's just rapid. You don't want rapid execution with no improvement, and you don't want no execution with only perfect implementation. You basically want to have like the two things that I think separates winners and losers in terms of like getting the business where you want it or not is speed of execution and quality of output.
And quality is predicated typically at the beginning because like you're just throwing shit against the wall, right? But then you have some data.
Exactly.
Let's say you test like 100 ads, like okay, this ad had like 2 times higher like click-through rate
Yeah.
than like other ads. Maybe it didn't get like even like any sales, but there is something to it, right? So now you analyze it deeper, like you explained. Okay, why it didn't work? Okay, where people like dropped off, right? Or maybe like people like the metrics on the ad side were great and people were going to the website, but they're not
There we
buying.
go. Yeah.
So maybe that's your product page or your landing page problem, right? So you basically throw a lot of shit against the wall. Then you have some data that you can analyze and identify, okay, what lost and what won, right?
Exactly.
And you're, okay, how can I do more of what's winning, what's promising, and less of what's not working? Because you will learn a lot from what didn't work as well, right?
For
like
sure,
you were
yeah.
just like, okay, these ads have like 0.5% click-through rate. Okay, why is that? Okay, you look at like your thumbnail, you're trying to preview it like on your mobile device. Okay, maybe definitions are skewed. Maybe like the first 3 seconds are boring. Maybe like the footage is very stocky, right? Like maybe you have to replace it. And so just kind of like look into that so that your next round of testing is more efficient. And then you analyze it again, and then you analyze it again, and you're looking at it. I think that perspective shift and like overall like framing of like, oh, I spent like $10,000 like testing ads and none of it worked, like it didn't generate any sales, or maybe I like broke even. It's like, yeah, it's a fucking win. As long as you like take that data and you learn from it, that's like $10,000 like fucking MBA.
Yeah,
like,
literally. Yeah, exactly right. Completely. Like, this is what Mark says a lot. There is no win or loss. There's only buying data.
Yeah.
And I think that's the truth of it. And by the way, guys, one thing that I struggle with a lot when I was figuring out the marketing thing, man, is like people are like, oh yeah, I'm like profitable. And I'm like, describe profitable. Are we talking like 2% margin? Like, you know, you don't really know till you're on the other side. And then there's people that are just like, you got to test, you got to test, you got to test, you got to test, you got to test. Like, what do you have to have, 100 grand to figure out how to run an ad? You know, so by the way, guys, like, no, you don't, you can figure it out very fast and the margins are definitely there. Like, just so you guys know, if you're new to this, like, it's not, like, well, actually, I'm not going to make a bold claim on this, but like, I think what a lot of these people are talking about, like, you got to test, you got to test, you got to test. You should be learning quickly and implementing and getting winners quickly. That's the great thing with paid media is you can pivot fast. You can pivot fast. For sure.
You just have to be in it. Like, you just have to go deep.
Have to be.
You just have to go deep. And especially like if that's like your first. Yesterday I had like an interview with this kid. I mean, I think this guy will crush it. His name is Zidane.
I seen him.
You seen him?
On your story, yeah.
Yeah.
BBA student, right?
Yeah.
Winners.
Yeah, like he's so funny. He's so cool. Like he's 19. He's also grinder like you.
Yeah.
And he's just like fucking like
machine gun.
Yeah, just fucking like 4 months ago, like he didn't know like he joined BBA, he didn't know like what e-commerce was.
I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I didn't even know that there was a term of digital marketing. All I thought it was just, oh, it's marketing. I didn't even know e-com was a real word. I thought it was just like sell. I swear I didn't know. When I started my like whole info, like when I was doing personal training online, I didn't even know it was called info. Yeah, that's like the faster you execute, the better you're gonna be. Like, it's just so fast. Like, I didn't even know what stages of awareness were up until like 2-3 months ago, or frequency.
Man, I think being like, you know, because
can I stop you real quick? One of the biggest things is I think people are like information. I need to know. I'll be honest. The less I knew, the faster I executed. Because the more you know, the more you have to take into account.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh wow, this is good, this is bad. But in reality, I was just shoving things out in the world. Like, I was just pushing it out in the world, and I'm just like, something's working. You know, I didn't know if it's product aware, solution aware, this type of format. I was just like, this was working, this is what I thought was best, and I was just boom, boom, boom. And you get winners from it. You know, like, I think it's a lot of overcomplication. So the more you know, I think the more you have to take into account. And when you're new, you don't really want to be taking a lot into account. You want to just, which is very hard, because that's when it's the hardest to think, and you're like, nothing really adds up yet. That's why a coach is so important, because they cut the noise out once again. But and then you should just be executing on what they say. But anyway, I forgot what I was going to say there. Something caught up to me at the end.
Speed.
But anyway, it's like, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. But yeah, I wouldn't say like try to hoard information. Just it's execution. I know I keep saying that, but like, it's just so important, and so little people. Like, think about it this way, man. Everybody has all this access to information. College degrees are just falling from the sky. Thousands of YouTube videos downloaded a day. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views of content a day. But yet, and you have all these people that look at all these views. Like, just go look up dropshipping and just look up the top 10 videos on there. Look up e-commerce, look up Shopify, look up any of these terms, and there's hundreds of thousands of views on there, millions of views in some cases. And there's definitely not that many guys like at this point like running 8-figure, 9-figure brands.
Yeah.
So it's not the information, it's the execution. That's the separation. But the problem is with execution, man, is that it sucks. Because when you are launching your 7th, 10th, 12th ad, and then that 13th is just like a fucking jackpot, and it throws you to the moon, well, you just have to get kicked in the face 12 times before it worked. You know, and that's the thing is like,
and most people would have given up like after first one.
For sure, it's that push through factor. It's the determination. It's the grit. It's the I suck now, but I'm getting better and I'm getting closer. And this is what my coach told me to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And it looks bad, but you do it anyway.
And it's like from that standpoint, it's like, I mean, you're doing like 1 million months, right? And you're doing great, but it's saying it's not even the most important part. Mm-mm. It's basically the person and the entrepreneur that you have become
100%
on this journey that is so much more valuable.
Infinitely.
Than like, you know, specific numbers, because like, you know, people get into business and like you said, everyone has like different motivations. You know, some people want to prove other people wrong. Some people want to take care of their parents. Like some people just want to have money and flash. Like it's basically like, you know, infinite like number of reasons why people, you know, get into the business or they want to make money. But at the end of the day, it's like in your business career, like that's what I've learned and just, you know, reflected on as well. Like in your business career, like you'll have wins, you'll probably have more losses than you have wins. You'll have some good years when you're fucking scaling like crazy.
Rocket ship.
Yeah, you'll have some bad years. You'll have some slow years. You'll have some fucking months like where like, you know, like you'll fucking struggle to pay like the fucking overhead.
Yeah.
You'll fucking struggle to pay the fucking inventory costs. Mm-hmm. Like you want to scale. Like it's like, and also like from that standpoint, it's like, okay, oh, scale, like, oh, fucking $100,000 a day, or $1 million a day.
Yeah.
Fucking everyone's like masturbating to these,
So
but like
bad.
what's behind the scenes is a fucking lot of pain. Because like, okay, just very simple example. Let's say you are doing like you want to double your business, right? You want to scale very aggressively because like, I don't know, you want to flash like screenshots. Like you go from like, let's say $20,000 a day, you want to do 100K a day, right? That's awesome. I mean, you know, you want to grow, like you want to prove to yourself, you want to prove to others. Phenomenal, right? But in that process is like, let's say you're dealing with payment processors. You're getting your like transactions like on Friday, like days on the weekend, like you're not getting payouts from payment processors. It's like fucking 2 days of a cash flow, right? That you have to still like run the business. You still have to pay for fucking ads. And so like just these like little things, and then let's say you want to double your business. Okay, it means like you need like double as much inventory unless you just like drop shipping or you have like very like low maintenance model. But it's like the growth, it comes at a cost, right? And so that's also like, you know, in like insane amount of pain. You'll have issues.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have issues with employees. You'll have issues with manufacturing. Your factory might send like defective products. Like sometimes suppliers won't ship orders on time. You'll have a bunch of refunds and chargebacks. Fucking USPS can go on strike.
Oh my God.
You know.
You don't. It's like exactly. And it's like it really comes down to the emotional like structure. Like how based are you? How bad do you want it? What do you care for about it? Like, and honestly, it's not like a lot of people always on social media. It seems like these massive aspirations and like these affirmations in the mirror and like this, you know, boat ride out into the sunset and rainbows, bro. It's like every day. It's just like, oh my.
Getting
gosh.
hard,
like,
getting hit in
what
fucking
is happening?
face.
It's like it's these because it's like the little itsy bitsy like step 1, 1.1, 1.2. It's like, you know, most people are like, oh, why didn't you run a landing? Why didn't you get on your funnel yet? Why didn't you launch this funnel yet? It's like I had to find a developer. I had to coordinate with the guy on the right time zone. I had to make sure the domain was right. We finally got it figured out. His password didn't work. His Wi-Fi went down. You know, I had to call him. Oh, well, you know, then like the guy, you know, like, oh, well, then he didn't have the what's it called? The two-factor authentication. Then we had to get that figured out. Then because he's in a different country, oh, then we had to like call Stripe to get a, you know, or whatever, ClickFunnels. We had to call ClickFunnels so we could get them to validate that it's not a scam. And then it's like, then your credit card on Facebook is like, oh, why are you spending 3 times as much? Oh, well, this is a scam. Then they cut it off. Then your Facebook shit goes down. And it's like, why did that go down? Oh, and then you know, it's like, okay, well, and then you scale so hard, and then your your payment processor goes to 1% chargeback rate because
Yeah.
you know now it's way more higher scale, and like that percentage is actually very skewed. And then it's like, well, now I have a payment processor down, and I lost 3 days. And it's like, you know, and then you realize like all these little things, the little bit of stuff, and you're just like, as an entrepreneur, you're like, I just want to get forward, like forward,
Yeah.
forward. Like the urgency is always there, but it's like those little things is what just like grinds you down internally, and like having that internal like I would just say the balls to keep going forward is so
Yeah.
massive, you know? Like you got to have that like internal fortitude to be like, bro, I don't care, I'm pushing it forward.
Man,
I don't care, it's got to happen.
This is like,
And that's the gold. Like, by the way, to you guys, like I know this happens as entrepreneurs. I know you've experienced it. Everybody that seems like they have. It's just the reality. Like, bro, a lot of times you're alone. A lot of times you're kind of like, fuck, you can't see the end of it. Like, it doesn't matter what people say and how clear the plan is. You're like, it still looks like a valley of darkness. Like, no matter how, like, it's been happening for weeks on end, and you're like, I just don't see the end of it. You know, it's like, you're like, oh, well, you're just like, oh, we'll just launch this landing page. And you're like, well, what kind of landing page? Oh, and then you like start getting it, and you like get the format, but then the formatting's not right. And then there's like this technical error, and like all this little stuff, man. It's like,
man,
that's the stuff that people don't talk about, but that's the real side of it. Like, it's lonely and it sucks, and there's a fuckload of sacrifice that goes along with it. And it's like, I think it really is just the people that just have the balls and the bravery to go, I'm gonna keep going forward.
Yeah.
Like, there is no surrender, no retreat. Your mind needs to be on your side. My mind is on my side every second of the day. Like, we go through that stuff, and my mind does not ever go to let's quit, ever. Like, I went through 3 years of nothing working. So for how I was going harder at that third year than ever.
Yeah.
So like, what I know now, if you give me 3 years of darkness, I will go that third. I will go from, if it's today, we go back to zero. You got to kill me for 3 straight years, and I know on that fourth and that fifth year, I'm gonna be coming harder. So it's like knowing. And by the way, if you're going through that valley of despair in the beginning where nothing's working out, brother, that is the champion's wall. The reason it's the top 1% is because 99% of people aren't willing to go through it. And if you, that's what I'm saying, is if you don't quit, you can't lose, because if you don't stop going, you will win.
because like this is so fucking good, man. This is fucking gold. Like, because I think overall, like, definition of entrepreneurship, right? It's kind of like on you know, let's say you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, you go on YouTube, and there's like these fucking guys, you know, they have like these fucking Lamborghinis, like in a mansion, fucking just like having like time of their life and fucking chilling and like just fucking, you know,
champagne,
yeah,
club,
oh yeah,
Rolls Royce,
beautiful fucking
beautiful
life.
like you Alps
Fucking,
mountains,
yeah, it's like fucking, yeah, you know, like on the fucking.
They just pull up the phone. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh.
it's 4 a.m. I had to wake up to make sure I made 100K this morning. And
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, but then I woke up and I had to go meet like this supermodel, bro. She wasn't there, so then I had to like meet her for breakfast, and it's like shut the fuck up. Like, I can't. If you guys look at my Instagram page, there is no flex. There is no flex. There is no look at this. By the way, this isn't even a Rolex. There's no look at this Rolex. Look at this car. None. I have no means to flex on people. I have zero inclination to go flex because I know the kids going through that. I know what that shit hurts like. I know what it's like to face that like hate, conflict, aggravation, shame socially, like feeling like a fucking retard and an idiot because you haven't figured out for the 10th ad. I know, and you're like, when does this shit end? And I think that's one of the most, I think honestly, that's why I think entrepreneurship is one of the hardest things in the world, because you don't know when it ends. Like, imagine if you're in like, imagine if you're going through like military training, like something super extreme. Let's say you're trying to be like special operations. At least you know for a fact, well, this 8th week I'm gonna graduate.
Yeah.
At least you're like, this shit sucks, but I know when it ends. And entrepreneurship, it's that marathon, it's that journey, it's that like, it's like you're getting kicked down, but you're like, when does it end? When I die? You
Yeah.
don't know. And then you look at these, and when you haven't made it yet, you look at these guys that have, you know, the yachts, the mansions, the girls, the all this, the Rolex, all this stuff. And you're like, and you're just like, man, like, is it a scam? Is it real? You know, it gets to a point, like, imagine 3 years in, you're like, is this real? Is this actually legit?
Yeah.
And you're the only one in your whole family, your whole town, the only one that's ever done it. And everybody looks at you like you're an idiot. Like, you have people, I remember vividly, people to my face told me I was lying. They're like, you're getting scammed, bro. It's not real. It's a dream. It's just social media. It's flash. It's this. And guess what? And like, I swear to you, the bottom line is like I was like, it's like, this is Austin Huffman, and I'm gonna show you who the fuck he is. Like, it just got to that point. It was so internal to myself. I'm like, you are Austin, and you're going to do what Austin does, and that is hard shit. That is the crossing that line where 99% fail. I get fucking goosebumps, bro. Like, I mean that shit. Like, you have to fucking believe in it so fucking hard. Even when you don't have the belief, even when it's desperation, even even when there's nothing there for you to hold on to and say, this is the measurable fact of why I'm going to get there, when there's no probability of winning and you keep pushing forward, brother, you are the champion in the arena.
I mean,
and it's like Alex talks about, Hermosi, where he's like, it's the slow clap in a dark room. That's what it is over and over again for years. And that's the Champions War where you win. And I think everybody goes through that. And if you don't, I would be scared.
And it's like, and I think, you know, like, as you talk about it, and also just like reflecting on like people's like journeys and like just seeing so many people over the years, I don't think it is for everyone, man.
I agree.
It is not, because like the amount of like, or at least like, I think what we just did, and like, you know, we shared the experiences, like you shared your experiences, fucking pain, frustrations, like every single day as you run the business, which people don't fucking show you on Instagram.
Never.
People show you this like end goal, fucking perfect picture, you know, you're having this fucking great life, you live in a fucking mansion, you travel, like, it's like, which is great, you know, it's like fucking great, but like, what goes behind the scenes for people that actually do the business? Because some people just fucking show off just to, you know, sell the information products.
It's their brand.
You know, that's what they do. They don't actually like operate. Like, I think it's like understanding what you're actually fucking getting into and what goes behind those numbers that you see on fucking screen. Like, you know, I have many friends that have like, you know, like exited like 9-figure businesses, sold 9-figure businesses, and it's like, man, I mean, fucking guys, they're fucking exhausted. Like after that shit, like they're like, bro. You know, like even like we had Mike on stage, you know, at their event, like almost fucking killed himself. Like some of these guys, they're fucking overweight, and the reason they're like overweight because like they're fucking stressing the fuck out of every single day. You know, it's like
Mike was the guy that had 3 heart attacks selling his business. Is that him?
He was close,
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's like
like his heart rate was so high in the business that he literally went to the hospital because they could kill him.
Yeah, and
from that stress.
Nah, like that's inside, right? That's what he shared like on stage. It was like like-minded people, but like what do you see on fucking like you Google his name? It's like, oh yeah, it's like this successful exit or this company scaled to like 120 mil a year. And it's like, yeah, it sounds fucking glamorous and sounds fucking amazing, right? Oh, the guy's fucking like set himself for life, you know, financially. But like what goes behind the scenes of actually growing the business and the mindset you need to have in order to get there, and the amount of shit that you have to eat on that path, that's what you have to be fucking ready for. You know, some people watching, like they've probably been through some challenges, like, you know, more experience, but like for people that are getting into the business, like, if you're just like, you just have to develop this like mental like toughness that like life will fucking kick you in the balls, and like it won't be like a fucking this like smooth fucking ride. It will be like that. It will be like that. Like but like as long as like over time you're getting better, like and you're getting more skills and you're getting more experience and you're getting like more emotional control and you're able to control yourself and like calm yourself down like during hard moments. That's the biggest like fucking upside, and that's your biggest asset on this journey of building a successful business. Because people say, oh, I want to build like a $100 million business, I want to build like $1 billion business. You don't fucking know what it takes.
No.
Like just talk to some people. Like don't fucking watch, like I understand like there's like a bunch of interviews like with billionaires, like, and they say like all like politically correct, you know, most of the times they don't share like the shit. Like when you talk with these people, like I do, like behind the scenes, when you have these conversations, when like maybe even after like few drinks, it's almost the same as like reading those like Reddit comments from your customers, like where it's like, oh fuck, like this, like these people, like they're fucking like, they're like, you know, they've been through so much shit, they face so many issues, their business was like this close of fucking just getting out of the business, right? Because I think like bridging the gap between like what's actually shown as entrepreneurship, like, and kind of like glorified version of it, where people actually have made it and like, you know, kind of like financially they live like phenomenal life, but what's in between these is what really fucking matters, because that's what you have to be ready for. And it's like, you know, even if you do like 7 figures, like 8 figures, like doesn't matter, like on each next level of growth, you'll face many obstacles.
And the faster you go, the harder.
Yeah.
Because like think about it. Like imagine this, right? You get a guy, like for example, imagine you go from like, 0 to like $1 million a month within like 14, 15 months. You basically just had to go through the entirety of learning the base skill, like the complete ground level skills of how to run an ad, a landing page, marketing, everything, like everything. And then in a matter of months, you're like, I got to figure out how to hire. I got to figure out how to hire, train, and do this. Okay, well now a couple months later, I got to figure out how to hire this many more people, keep this guy in his position, keep him happy. How the fuck do you keep people around? And then it's like, okay, and then it's like you realize, okay, well they're not just resumes and like figuring this out. Then it's like there's like, like people have like, you realize there's like politics in the workplace and stuff. And you're like, okay, great. And then it's like, then you got to figure out still how you're managing this plus all of this over here. And it's like, and then you eventually like to the point where I'm at now. I'm like, bro, like I got to hire for like 15 different things at one time. And it's like, you basically go from the basics, and once something works, it's like, it can take you at such an exponential rate that it's like, yo, I got to almost forget what I started at because somebody else has got to do it. And I got to basically start from zero doing the next thing. Right? And I think so many people in the beginning, they're like, oh, just hire. I can't wait to hire and outsource and all this. It's a curve. It's a learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
I think so many people are like, oh, I can't wait to just, have it all work for me. It works. It can work. It absolutely happens. People do it. But the thing is it's just like it's still a whole different learning curve you have to come over. And like that's a big thing with entrepreneurship, man, is like being able to shed that skin. Being able to be like, okay, this is the old, this is the new, this is the old, this is the new. And I think that's one of the biggest things.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so like what I'm getting to, like shedding the skin, man, is like there's always like I remember asking, how did I ask you this? Basically, I was like, yo, Alex, like I forget how I asked it, but basically you're like, yeah, there's just different problems. There's just always a different problem that you're going to be solving. And that was a big thing that I think really hurt me in the beginning is I was like, oh man, you get to a 10K month and then you can just like chill out and you just know how to do a 10K month and you just like rinse and repeat it and you work like 5 hours a day and you're good. Because that was the goal that I was chasing for like 2 or 3 years, right? And then you get it and you're like, okay, all these different problems, this and that. And then like basically my defense mechanism for like things going wrong was just like forcing it to go right. Well, then when you force everything to go right, well, guess what? It's going right so good, there's now new problems. And it's like you have to just constantly be willing to take on the problems and solve them. But don't look at them as problems, though. Like going back to even what we were just talking about like, oh, like you have to go through all this personal work as an entrepreneur and everything. That's why I said in the beginning, man, like if you're a guy at day one, day zero, no dollar to your name, no money made on the internet, you are the champion. You've already won. Like don't space yourself out between, this is hard to say because even I have a hard time doing this. Don't space yourself out saying like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. You are a fucking millionaire. You've already crossed the line that most won't ever cross. Just don't quit and you can't lose, right? So the thing is like you want to say I am this person, I am this individual, right? And it's like in each moment, there's a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. People rave about it. I wasn't a huge fan, but people rave about it. But anyway, it basically goes over like self-image exactly. And like how people are like, okay, well I need to have this like self-image of like, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a CEO, I'm this, I'm that. I think actually I tried that. I tried that heavily. I'm a huge fan of mindset and personal development, and by the way, that is the hard part. But when it comes to the like the personal image and stuff, I was like, should I be a CEO? Should I put myself as like $100 million entrepreneur? I was trying to figure out how do I imagine myself doing all these things, and it was so much like mental masturbation trying to do it. But what I basically come to now, I'm just the man who does what's needed on the journey. I look at it as the journey is the goal. The journey is the goal. It's not the destination. The journey is the goal. And once you start thinking of it like that, it's not like, oh, this problem came up and I had to solve it. Like, fuck, this problem. Like, It's like, yo, it came up, I'm going to solve it. It came up, I'm going to do it. And it's like, okay, great. I literally chant this to myself sometimes internally. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is the, like this, when it's so hard and you're like, you're like that point, you're like, how do I take one step further? I'm like, I can take one step further. Like if that's one more hit on the keyboard, I'll do one more hit on the keyboard. If it's literally, okay, I'm just going to maybe I can't do that today. I'm going to literally just step back and just take a breather for a couple hours. I'll do that, And then I'm like, well, that's still a step forward because I haven't quit and I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit it stronger. Whatever that is, it's that one step forward part. And basically that's like the whole internal mindset that I have now. It's just, I'll do what is required. Like Alex Hormozi talks about. And Vil?
Yeah.
ESS guy, by the way, great. I hope you guys will be blessed if you meet Vil, killer. But Vil, I was having an issue with that when I was here in Miami. Like trying to figure out, am I this kind of person, entrepreneur, like trying to figure out this internal dialogue thing. Is I just read the book and I was really trying to apply it. Because I get information, I try to apply it quickly, right? Once again, causes more problems, but sometimes. But then I was talking to him about it, and he was like, bro, I actually went through that myself. And I was like, oh, really? And he basically said the same thing. He's like, I had a team, they were outsourced, they did it all for me, we were growing, we were maintaining, everything was good. I basically could check in and I was chilling, right? And then he's like, but I felt like shit. Like, I felt horrible. He's like, I had this whole internal dialogue that I've worked so hard for, of like being a killer and discipline and like putting myself out there and like getting it done and just dominating what I do. And then I'm basically just like neutered myself of it. Not his exact quote, by the way, but basically how I internalized it was that. Like, he became a killer, he became a champion in the arena. And then he was like, well, now I don't even perform as a champion.
Hero archetype.
And that's, yeah, and you talk about archetype, yeah, just killer. But basically that's how I internal. And he's like, so basically I just look at it as the job is to perform. Like, my goal is just to perform, to do hard shit and like actually pull it in the direction I want to go. Set a goal and accomplish it is basically how I internalize what he said. And I've just been doing that, and man, it's so freeing. And another way, and like when it comes to burnout, right? Like, we're kind of going down that path of like how hard it is. One thing that's helped me a lot with burnout is I used to set these far out goals. Like, for 3 years, I was trying to hit a 10K month. So I was literally trying to 10,000x my actual ability that I've proven at that point, right? So I'm like, okay, 10K month, 10K month. And it took me years to hit it. Well, the thing is and like, you can apply that goal to anything. If you're at 100K, $1 million a month, a 10 million a month, whatever, right? Well, the thing is that instead of trying to set these far out goals, which are good to do, and I think you should do that, and thinking big is major. But I think when you're trying to do it on the day-to-day work, what I like to do is, this is how I plan stuff. It's so simple. I get 2 whiteboards, right? I get 2 whiteboards. I literally set them down. I pick up my desk, or I have a desk right here on this side of the room, and I have a desk on this side of the room, facing each other. This desk is where I work. This desk is where I plan. And on these whiteboards, they're about like the size of half of this couch. Like, so 2 of them will be like the width of the couch. On one side of the whiteboard, what's going on in my head? And I call them ricochet thoughts, because those are the things you need to do. You know those feelings you're like, I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. You know, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
That like, because it's the hard part. You know it's the needle mover, but you know it's hard because it's difficult and you haven't done it yet. I write all these ricochet thoughts down. And I write them down just randomly. Like, I'm not trying to list them out. I'm just like, okay, landing page, add, talk to employee, fire employee, hire employee, like, get this out the door, send in this legal document, like, talk to attorney, whoever, right? And I'm just writing all this stuff down on this paper or on this whiteboard, just scribbling, like, just aggressively, just like whatever comes to mind, like, just boom, just boom, just boom, just writing it down. And on the other whiteboard, what I'll do is, and then on this one, I'll get another piece of marker, so I have a blue one and an orange one. So I'll write it all down with an orange one, and then the blue marker, I'll grab it, and I'm just like, what's been on your mind. Like, you know what you need to do. And I'll just star it, and I'll just put like a big star, and I'll circle it like obnoxiously. And then on the other side of the whiteboard, I'll write down all the steps I need to do to get it done. And the biggest needle mover, I try to get it done same day. Even if it's impossible, I still try to do it same day. And then at the least, I'll put the day and the date that I want to get it done by, and I'll sign, and then I'll normally try to move 1 to 3, depending on how big it is, Like, if it's a big needle move, like if it's a big project, and I'm trying to move it over here, well, then what I'll do is I'll only have that. And then I erase everything else off the whiteboard. Or I'll take a picture of it, of the one that I had all my scribbles on, and then I'll delete it all. And then there'll be 1 or 3 things on the other one, and the only thing on the whiteboard that's the actual like action whiteboard is the exact steps I need to do to get things done. And that's it. That's my time management. That's my objections, or that's my objections for the week. That's all that I do. I don't have I used to do crazy calendar blocks, all this shit. No, you literally write down what's on your brain. You put it on a whiteboard with broad steps. I used to when I was very new, I needed it like step 1, 1.1, 1.2. Because you were new, and the newer you are, the more direction you need. But as I've gotten a little bit more experience with it, now I'm able to just put it on a whiteboard, write down like the main thing. Sometimes I don't even write steps. I just write the main thing, and then I'll just kind of go through it. But I normally do like to write somewhat of steps underneath it, because that one thing underneath it, those like steps are like little things. It's like dopamine, 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 dopamine. And during that day, like let's say there's like, I'm gonna get that one little step done, and I won't leave my desk. I won't leave that desk. I am on. There's no surrender, no retreat. I am locked into that desk until that thing is done. I don't care if I got to piss. I don't care if I got like, if somebody, like, I don't know what happened. If somebody died, call 911. That's why they're there anyway. I'm playing. Like, let me know if something important happened. But like, I am not leaving that desk unless there is an emergency. You know what I mean? And I just sit there and I do it, and it sucks. And you're like, your brain's like halfway through. You're like, oh my gosh. You're like, nope, get it done. And then when it's done, I give myself like the most huge, like, I will sit there and like, if it's like, I will like hype myself up like, you fucking did it. Like literally like hit myself and stuff. And it's like that internal dialogue, the reward for getting it done is massive. Like the dopamine level is insane. Like I will get goosebumps many times, like just through the moon on how exhilarated I am that I got it done. And if I don't get it done, there's no work that's needed on the other side. I will feel miserable. I will feel guilty. I will feel like there's like scum of the earth for not following through on what I need to do. And for me personally, there's nothing I need to do. I just don't do it and it'll immediately hit me. Like it's just like, here it is. It's just like looking you like right in the face. It's like just like the worst guy in the world just staring you in the face, and I hate that guy. So I have literally in my head, I've imagined this vividly. I have this guy on the one side who's this huge, massive monster, like gargantuan, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like 30 feet tall, right? And he fights like Khabib, so he's a monster. Like he was just a savage. And then I have this other guy that's super small, and he's like the size of your pinky, and he's underneath, and they're both in the same dark room, right? And the guy that's huge is the guy of victory, and the guy on the bottom is the guy of denial, the guy that doesn't get shit done. And like the reason I have that mindset is because like in my head I internalize this and vividly imagine it, because the guy on this side is so big and he's so strong and he's so massive and competent that there's just no way you could imagine this small little Ant-Man is going to beat him. And that's why I think the victory wins so much.
Fuck, I love that.
Yeah, and it's like vivid. Like I can see their face, I can see what they look like.
Because many times, I think it's, there's
one last thing. But when it comes to those like victory ticks, right? I call them like victory ticks. Well, I call them a lot of stuff, but like to-do list basically. And then it gives you very clear direction on what you need to get done, because the thing staring you literally in the face with your desk here and the other desk here is literally your to-do list. And there's only one thing on there, maybe two, maybe three at max. You need extreme clarity on what you're doing. And then when I'm looking at that, the thing is that one thing, like if I get that done, I can be through the moon, I can do whatever I want. I'm the man of the world that day, like internally, not like externally, like egotistical, but like just like that's how like you can internalize yourself internally. No matter what happens, you did it. Congratulations, you're a winner. You're the champion, right? That's what you did. Doesn't matter the numbers in the world, doesn't matter the business is going down, going up, whatever. You did that. That's where you need to get your internal fulfillment from. And when you have that constant like internal dialogue of fulfillment, and you have that like just like exhilaration of accomplishment through those small tasks, that's where I don't really have much burnout anymore, to a degree. There's more to it, but that's one of the biggest needle movers I found, and it keeps you on track. And the reason that I know people who love time blocks, great for you, bro, love it. But for me, in time blocks, I would get so like dialed in. I'm like, okay, I can get this done in, like I'm like, I put it on there for 4 hours, and I'll be done in like 2.5, and I'm like, oh, I can perfect it for another hour and a half, I can perfect it. And then and that was my thing. I'm like that kind of stuff, man. I'm like you were talking about explorer archetype. I think I like a little bit more freedom, because I know I will get it done, and like I always try to move with speed. So like it's never like slacking is a problem, and that is what really helps me like stay on task and get things done and avoid burnout.
So that's basically like almost like productivity system that you develop.
Oh, that is a system. Oh, a whiteboard and 2 markers, and you put it in front of your desk, and that's all you do.
Because a lot of times,
and that's all you do.
Because a lot of times people know exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, even like taking that back to like YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
It's like, there's some great like YouTube tutorials, like even like for free, like that you can access, like, and they tell you exactly what needs to be done, right? And like literally the whole kind of like blueprint is in front of you. And then people think about it and then overthink it. Like, so in a moment they might have like dopamine hits just from watching because they're getting excited. But then like they delay the execution, right, to the point where it's like they forget about it, like, or like, oh, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it on Monday, I'll do it like next week, I'll do it when the timing is perfect.
Yeah.
Instead of just like you said, like maybe like listing that shit out, like, okay, these are the exact things I have to get done, and they're just knocking those out, even if it won't be perfect. Because I mean, like at least at the beginning, it won't be perfect. Like, even for people that are experienced, like I see this all the time. Like even with myself, sometimes like I know exactly what I need to fucking do. Like I know like I have to do this, and then I'm delaying. But then like when I do it, I feel this like tremendous like sense of fulfillment. Like,
exactly.
And like and during those times when I'm not doing like what I know I need to do, I feel like shit. I feel like it's kind of like it's bugging me on the back of my mind, right? Like I know that I need to do it and I don't do it. It's like it's like eating me from the inside.
Yes.
And like I think
that's what kills most people. Is that
kind of like not doing what they know they need to do.
Yeah. And then the feeling of
think about like I mean I'm just like kind of like reflecting like this on this is interesting because like 70% of like US population is like, or 70, 60%, 50 to 70, massive amount are obese or overweight, right?
I think it's 70.
70, right?
Yeah.
So think about that.
Yeah.
With a whole fucking amount of like YouTube videos, how to get jacked, right? Fitness programs, if you want to spend like $20, $30, $100, fitness coaches, still, majority of people are fucking fat. Fuck. And it's like, I mean, getting in shape, it's like, unless you have some like hormonal like issues or some kind of like genetical like, problems, it's not that difficult. Like I was 50 pounds like overweight, right? Like, so I've been through that journey myself. And it's like, I mean, it's food, like controlling like what you eat, and it's, exercising and getting good sleep. It's basic, it's basic things, right? Obviously, you can take some supplements and some kind of like, some things to amplify that progress. But like at the end of the day, it's just very like basic things. And then, like everyone probably knows, like if you ask a fat person like, what they need to do in order to like get lean or get like less fat, like they probably know. Like, yeah, I need to eat less. But then like, they see, for instance,
the marketing.
Yeah, they see, it's like maybe like today, like just today, I'll have this like piece of chocolate. But then what happens, like you have that piece of chocolate, you almost like unlock like a chain reaction.
100%.
So if I allowed myself to eat this piece of chocolate, so maybe I also can eat this cookie, or I can eat this like croissant. So it's kind of like setting up that like, it's almost like unleashing that chain reaction in a negative direction, right? And then what happens? They feel like shit.
Exactly.
They feel like shit. They have guilt because they said to themselves, okay, I won't eat like, bad food, right? Or junk food. And they did it.
Yeah.
So now they're blaming themselves and shaming themselves and like, okay, so how do I fix it? How do I feel better? At least for that fucking brief moment. Oh, maybe I should get another cookie. Fuck it. Fuck it. I already had cookies. Like maybe I'll have one more. And so that chain reaction day after day, day after day.
Yep.
And then they build this identity of a person that doesn't keep their word to themselves.
It's the worst. It's the most dangerous.
Because what you said, like getting those things done, like even if they're like very simple, small like action points, it could be like these like small wins and you're like basically stacking them every day. What happens in that process is like you are building the identity of the person that delivers on their own promises to themselves, first of all.
For sure.
Then, obviously they have other promises to other people, like if I promise something to another person, so I have to keep my word. But like it all kind of like starts with your own like self-esteem, and you have to build it up. Especially like some people, like including myself, I grew in an environment where like I didn't have self-esteem. Like my self-esteem was like suppressed by fucking school, by teacher. I was bullied. Like like everyone like in school they told me like I'll be either in jail or like I'll be in a psychiatric like fucking clinic because I was doing some stupid shit. But it's like kind of like that kind of shit. Like the only way that you can overcome it, like and it took me years to build on that like new identity and kind of like almost like the same fucking body, right? But it's a different person that like executes on a different level, and that is a person that builds fucking businesses. So when people talk about business, like your business is you. Your business is reflection of you, right? And fast growing business is just it's not luck, right? Maybe there's some like market conditions, like
crypto or something.
Yeah. It's like you made a lot of money very fast, but it's not you. It's not like you fucking even like deserve that, right? It's not like you in that process. And I've seen like many people like here in Miami and other places like that I know personally that made like millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in crypto, but because they didn't build themselves in the process to be that person, they basically remained the same person like as they were when they were broke. They lost that money, right? Because again, your business, your numbers, like how much money you're making, all of that is just the secondary like order like consequence of you becoming a better person. And by better person, I mean the person that keeps their word, knows what they need to do, even if it's hard thing, and actually fucking doing it on a day-to-day basis, taking care of all areas of their life. And like it's so correlated, you know, these two things. I think in business there is like this segment, like let's say even a personal development. Oh, it's a personal development. It's like fuck, like give me like fucking tactics. Like I want to fucking my Facebook ad like cost caps and bid caps. Like, bitch, I mean you are like fucking you have to level up as a person, right? Like you're just like you're working a few hours a day, like you're just looking for shortcuts all the time. Like you're not like, you know, like doing the things that are necessary, that are hard things. And, you know, I think those two things are together. Like you are your business. You are literally the reflection of your business. And like, if you don't like your business, probably from your personal side, you're not executing to the highest level of your abilities. And I think working on that, like internal, and building that confidence with like stacking these small wins and just like building that new identity will like transform your business like nothing else.
Massively. I so completely agree. Crazy enough with this, like guys, just like internalize that. I was just listening. That was amazing, man. But, and to add to that, when it comes to those like small little wins, what you were talking about, the separation between like the self-improvement and the business thing, man, when I first started, I was so heavy on self-improvement. Like it was just gym, books, talking to people. I had like, this is too long for the podcast, but like I basically had this like horrendous like state of like self-doubt, social anxiety, horrible depression state for like right after high school, right during it, like right at the end of it. And man, it was just so horrendous, like absolute, like I cannot tell you how bad. I couldn't talk to people, and it was so bad. It was beyond horrific. And anyway, but from there, so I was just like enthralled into like self-development, like discipline, building yourself, all this different stuff. And then from there I was like, and that's actually where I kind of fell into business. It was actually because of that, because I just kind of seen it as like, this is like, the world is infinite. Why wouldn't you go after it? And like America's a huge land of opportunity, right? So the thing is, I was just like, bro, let's do it. Let's do it. And like, I really didn't like the idea of like a job. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. But anyway, I was super deep into self-development for years, still am to this day, by the way. But when I was around Miami, man, it was like one of the first times, like the first time I actually lived here for a month or so, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of like, instead of the gym, I'm going to go try to network with more people. Right, and that was the thing. I would just go out in the city and just like talk to people and yada yada. Actually, really cool. Met some great people. But anyway, the gym is such a massive pivot for self-development, because the thing is I very quickly realized that like I very quickly realized the whole thing with the gym and everything is that consistency of self is like very heavily coordinated into the business. Because whenever it's numbers and it's just business, you're like, oh, the numbers are good, this metric is good, this is great, right? And the thing is, it's so easy to be like, okay, well, cool, like, yeah, the business is doing great. But then you realize what you actually did, the work before it, as an individual to get it there, right? That work is what actually got it there. And when you're missing that part of the work aspect, the actual ethic aspect, I think that's one of the most dangerous things that you can do, because from there, you're basically like, the main driver of the business, being the entrepreneur, is not dialed in. They're no longer a driver. They're kind of like, they don't have that like push factor, because they don't self-push. They don't like drive within themselves. And I think that's one of the most dangerous things, the lack of consistency, and why I'm a huge advocate for discipline. And I think that the work on yourself, I think the work on yourself is far harder and more important than the business itself. And when I was in the self-improvement side only, and I didn't have the business side, I was like, yeah, I'm sure, yeah, whatever, you know, self-improvement's important, blah, blah, blah. Because that was my strong suit, but I didn't have the business side. But now that I'm kind of on both sides of it, I realize how heavily coordinated they truly, truly are. Yeah. It's like when you're in the gym, man, the biggest thing is like there is no shortcut. You can't pay somebody to get big for you. You can't pay somebody to do the diet for you. You actually have to be self-embodied and do it on your own. And I think that's the biggest thing with the business as well, is exactly that. Like, you have to actually be willing to like man up and improve within yourself, because you're always gonna have those needle movers in the business that require you to do it, whether you like it or not. And when you're and going back to the tick thing, like you were talking about like the cookie thing, like, oh, you eat a cookie and then it's gone, right? Well, and then you eat it and then it's gone and you feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Blah, blah, blah. Well, the biggest thing is that one of the biggest things I love to do is intentionally feel like an impulse to go do something. I'll be like, let's not do that. And then I would literally, like the Zen, I'll be like, for example, I want to try a Zen, I want to get one, right? And then I'll be like, no, we're not going to do that right now. And like minutes later, I will be so proud of myself for not doing it. And like, I think those little ticks of like not doing it and feeling the impulse and not going after it is one of the most important things you can do. Like, feel the impulse. Oh, I want that Zen. No, I'm not going to get it. You feel the impulse, you reach for it, and you want to exercise that mind of like, no, I'm not. Like, give it to me real quick. Like, just let me hold it, literally. So imagine if I'm like, I want the Zen. I go in my backpack, I get the Zen. I'm like, oh, I want this Zen. And then it's like, but wouldn't I be proud not to have it? And then I'd be like, but why does it? But then I would be like, well, why does it matter? Why does it matter if you take this in? And then I'd be like, just because it's hard, and I want to be someone who does hard things. And that's literally the internal dialogue I have. Why would I not do it? Because I think it's so easy for people to decide, oh, I can do it. It won't hurt me. I can fit it into my calories, whatever. And they're able to like talk themselves into it. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I'm just the guy who does hard things.
That's the identity that, okay.
Yeah, that's the identity part. Because it's all inclusive and it's at all times.
For me, Zen, I'll have to take some of your advice.
By the way, I actually did quit vaping and nicotine. I can teach you.
Was it hard?
You'll make it through.
Yeah. Like, I just like,
You can do it. You can do all things. You can do it for sure. And you'll be so fucking proud of yourself. I'm telling you, man, you will be like ecstatic. If that's something that sticks in your mind a lot, you're like, I should quit, I shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I almost guarantee it, you will execute on something far harder and faster than you've ever done before with them.
Done.
I swear. It's like, because think about how much in your head you're like, oh, I shouldn't Zen.
Oh man, like it's every day I'm like, okay, let's say.
It breaks your drive because you're deliberately, your best self is telling you, hey Alex, we shouldn't be Zenning. And then on the other side, your bad self.
Every morning.
Your bad self is winning.
Every morning, because I think that impacted like quality of my sleep.
It will, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, nicotine, and I'm taking like in the evening as well. And it's like every morning I'm waking up and I'm telling myself I'll quit Zen. It's like, I don't have like many, I dropped many like bad habits, kind of like reframe myself and like kind of like really evolve from those, like food, gym, like many different things. Zen, I think that is a big one for me.
I think you're right, and I think it would be massive. I would be more than happy to help you on that.
Is it?
Yeah, seriously.
We made it bad.
I've quit nicotine like 3 times.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I've quit like Zins, I've quit smoking, I've quit, or vaping, smoking, whatever you want to call it.
I think that's a big, I
can teach it. I can do it well. And I've done it, I've quit, I've quit caffeine as well.
How do you do it? Like you replace it with something else?
Oh, with nicotine specifically, what I like to do when I was vaping especially is like, I would vape like Juul pods, so it was like 0.5 nicotine. And then I would go to 3. And then once I would go to 3, I would get a different vape and I would go to 2. And then I would go to 1. And then by the time I was at 1, my tolerance was just like kind of like, I can quit this. That was one way I did it, where I would wean myself off. And then other ways that I would do it, I've done it that way, and I've also done it just the complete, I'm out, I'm done.
Cold turkey.
And I just grabbed the shit and threw it out the window, basically.
Okay, throw it away.
Okay, cool. I'll throw it away. Well, I'm not gonna throw it there because you can get to it, but I'll keep it. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Kill off all the ability. Make it hard to break. Make it really fucking hard to break, right? Like you want to make sure that like you want it to be like okay.
Okay.
You want it to.
You have it?
Yeah.
Okay. Throw all of it here. It will be nasty.
Okay. Cool. Look, on camera, we're getting Alex to quit. This is Alex's last day.
Yeah.
Throw the whole thing in there.
Looks disgusting.
I'll hold that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So here, we'll get rid of that. But yeah, man, it's like you have these little things. Like these little things are kind of what create the internal dial. Oh, okay. So vaping, we'll stay on that. So like nicotine, one way I've done it is like the lowering gradually and then quitting. And I've also done just the quit cold turkey. I love the cold turkey better.
Yeah, so this is the thing for me. I'm extreme kind of person.
Same,
yeah. Yeah, I'm like I'm either doing something like I'm either like not doing something, or if I'm doing it, I'm doing this fucking to extreme.
Oh, completely same.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, okay. So it's like for me, it's like I try to gradually fuck. It's like it's they have this plan of like doing it for like 2 months. Bitch, I mean, I don't have fucking 2 months to waste, like to think about it. Like I want to fucking quit it, forget it. Yes, I'll probably suffer for a week. Yeah. We'll be suffering, and I'll have to just talk with my wife so I don't like, frustrate her and kids and like. But it's like I think for me, kind of like more extreme things work better.
Because what I like about it is it also really gives you the idea of I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
Like I've applied myself. It is harder, but I do, like internally, I do hard things, right? That's the whole mantra, right? I do hard things. And like when you're willing to just take that, when you're willing to cut, like just slice off the dead, like basically like, cancer cells, like they're a rapid growing cell, like they're basically like I don't know much about it at all, but like it's like a rapid growing thing and it gets bigger, right? But you're basically just like cutting out the cancer. You kill all the sickness immediately. And that's what I like. I like just killing it from the jump. Because I think it helps give with like rapid execution. I think it really does. Right? And there was something major. Oh, I think one of the biggest things, like if on the self-improvement side, guys, like the business side for me, the self-improvement as well, one of the most important things is I have no distractions. If you want to get really good with discipline, make it very hard to quit. Make it extremely hard to go back. Like when you burn that fucking bridge, that's it. Like, for example, like I don't like drinking, right? If you have like a drinking or a drug problem or something like that, make it extremely hard to get that again. Don't hang around losers. Don't hang around people that drink. Don't hang around drug users, whatever you're doing. Distance yourself massively. I would suggest have a very extreme like blowout with them. Like you're a coward. You don't get your shit together. You don't hold yourself accountable. Like whatever you have to do to end that. Like make sure that if you go back, it would be extremely difficult to do so. Like try to make as many degrees of separation as possible. Like work to get rid of that. Like, okay, if let's say I'm done work, like being around like people who drink, right? Yeah. And let's say like a lot of people have problems, I guess, like socially with drinking or something, right? So it's like, okay, I have friends that we always go out after work and we drink. After work, every day I'm going to the gym for the first part. And then another, you can go ahead and put in here. Yeah. Like after that, like, yo, I'm done with the gym. Okay, like I'm going to the gym instead of drinking. So now a different stimulus at the same time period. Time, location, and social aspect are the three biggest triggers for habits, right? So time, location. Like a lot of people who smoke, they wake up and they get outside and they smoke a cigarette. We'll stay on the drinking thing. Yeah. They get like every day after work, 5 o'clock, they get off work, they go straight to the same bar, they drink the same thing with the same people. Time, location, and social aspect, right? So those three things. Now I'm going to switch it. After work, the same time, I go to the gym. The location, I'm no longer at the bar, I'm at the gym. And the social aspect, I'm going to get friends at the gym. It will be lonely, it will be hard in the beginning, but very quickly, that's how you can separate yourself from good and bad habits. And some people are not extreme. Like I absolutely have an extreme aspect. Like, I'm either not going to do it or I'm going to do it like all in, like Zen or no Zen, that kind of thing. But so some people might need a more gradual way. Like some people I know they do well where they're like, okay, I'm just going to only drink, instead of 5 drinks, I'm going to drink 3. And then I'll drink 2. And then I'll go to a different bar. Like some people are gradual, and I'll be very honest with you guys. I think you probably think you're softer than what you really are. I think you're actually much harder than what you are, but you're just like, and you need to just face that. And it'll be hard as fuck. Like it'll be like you'll have that like, fuck, I'm gonna go back so bad. But you're gonna have that like period. But just know when you're on the other side of it, man, like whatever you're about to face, like where your brain's gonna be like going that low frequency state, it actually with dopamine, it doesn't go from low frequency back to baseline. Whatever it went down, it has an equal up. Did you know that? Dopamine, when it resets, like let's say your base level where this is 1 and this is -10, but when it resets, it doesn't go from 0 to -10 and then back to 0. It actually goes from -10 to +10 and then it gradually evens out. So all that fear and all that bad shit you just went through, you're actually about to get an equal reward on the other side, and then it's going to go back to normal. But I think why people are like, oh, I feel so much better after quitting XYZ is one, because they actually do have better. Bro, your sleep is going to be night and day. You're going to be superhuman. Like you're going to drink like half the coffee than you've ever had and everything. But they do feel better. But they actually remember like they remember what it felt like to quit it, which most people don't know about that dopamine thing. So they actually don't realize that like it actually does kind of go back to baseline. But they remember how good it felt to quit once they actually got better. And that's why the quitting the substance thing feels so great in the beginning especially. But it actually does create a higher baseline level of dopamine, not only because your self-image, you're not depleting it with Zins and all this stuff like every day. Like you're now on par with your internal dialogue you want to be. Like whenever I was vaping and stuff or drinking or whatever, the thing was man, like first off, it's a massive distraction. And 2 is that it actually creates a lot of internal dialogue problems in your life. Like think about how many times you guys have drank or I've drank or you've drank or whatever, and you're like, you wake up the next day, you're like, fuck, I can't get this done. But it's that one thing on your whiteboard and you can't get it done and you're like, just like trying to get it done, but your brain is like queasy and all this and it just isn't working out. And then you're like, well, what if I just didn't do that? And then every single day, if it's not working out, then you're like, it's actually the work or it's actually like things that I could control and it's not working, but I am pushing as hard as possible. So now you being your own enemy is completely off the table. So now the internal enemy, if there's an enemy, it's not within me. I don't drink, like this is real. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any drugs, I don't have any, like for the longest time, I thought girlfriend would be a distraction. So I don't have a girlfriend. I actually broke up with my girlfriend the day that I decided I was going to do it. I still don't wish I had to break her heart, but you know what? I do think at the time it was necessary. I got rid of all my friends. It was actually a pretty big, like, we're done. Like, it was a pretty hard line in the sand, like, pretty heated moment where I was like, we're done, and I left, and that was really it. Unless it's accidentally, we just meet each other in public. That's the only time we see each other. That no PlayStation, no Xbox, no video games, no porn, no bad friends. If I don't like your energy, I don't stay around you. Like, if I feel like it's a shady activity, I don't do it. Like, I stay everything above board. I don't break laws. I try to stay very adhesive to a sleep schedule. That's one thing I could improve on. And but this is all stuff you guys can control. Every single day, you can control whether you drink or not. Every single day, you can control if you play video games. You can control if you go to bed on time. You can control if you have a significant other that nags at you or something. You can control that, right? And when you take away all these distractions and all these things that like really hurt you internally, and all you have is just you and no distractions and the things you want to work on, the desires of what you want to work on and the importance of what they really are become screamingly loud.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like there's nothing that'll give you that fulfillment or that zen other than that. And I think that's why a lot of entrepreneurs, once they start to get good at their craft and they start liking things, they're looked at as like a workaholic. And they actually work not because it's like a lot of the stress and conflict and shit, but it's actually the thing that gives them zen and it gives them
the dopamine.
And it gives them that dopamine because that is the desire they have. They quit everything to pour into this. And now they have all of this built into the business and they have all of this like excitement around it. And that's where they get a lot of their like pleasure from. And I think that's one of the biggest things, like if you want to move fast and get where you want to go, is delete all distractions and master separations between them. I think that's a really major thing for me.
I mean, so people have to rewatch this one, like, cause there's so much deep shit in this call. Oh man, thank you so much. Thanks for Zins.
Yeah, Alex quit Zen today. That's good. What's the date?
Also like when Friday.
Is there Friday?
Which date? 24. Okay.
Okay. Alex quit Zen today. So what's the month?
It's like, so alcohol for me, like I'm not drinking alcohol. Like it was so easy for me. Like boom, I just dropped. I don't want to fucking touch it.
Yeah.
Like with Zins, it was harder. And then I also have another incentive to quit Zins because when we had like a team dinner like 3 days ago, there were like 10 people at the table, and my wife said like if I won't quit Zins by the end of November, which is like still like a month, then I have to pay every person at that table 10 G's. So that's like that will cost me like $80,000,
Yeah.
80 or 100. I like to make people happy, but like not probably from this.
Yeah.
So.
And like think about the people around you, how they're gonna look at you. They're like, this guy actually like gets his shit together. He doesn't Zen. He said he wouldn't do it, and he's done.
Man, like once I decided, like when I was fat, and I'm like just made internal decision to.
And you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
He's jacked, bro.
And it's like, if I decide on something, it's fucking I go extreme.
Yeah. For sure.
And so same here with Zins, and then probably.
You're done. And here's one thing I would add whenever you're trying to get through something like this. Don't look at it as I'm quitting a Zen. Look at it as I'm gaining the freedom. Because a lot of people we'll use alcohol again. When it comes to alcohol, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm quitting alcohol and I'm going to quit my social life and I'm not going to have that like nightcap where I get to calm down and relax, and I'm not going to have that like happy hour or whatever. I'm not going to be around my friends. I'm losing all this. I'm quitting all this. Fuck no. You're winning. You're getting the freedom to have great friends. That you're gaining the freedom to be able to socialize at a very high level nonstop. You're not gonna have any, you're gonna learn how to get through the anxiety of working with strangers and talking to random people. Shy people don't get rich, as you say it all the time.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be able to learn how to reach out and execute and like build teams and communicate without like this screen of having to go through this drug. So you gain the freedom back of being able to do so. You're not gonna be getting fat. You're not gonna be gaining weight. So you're now going to be having all the freedom to eat more food that you actually like that nourishes your body. You're not going to have the slump of like shitty sleep all the time. So you're gaining the freedom of more sleep, which is more health. You're no longer, and you're gaining the freedom to look at yourself as somebody that you're proud of. That's probably the biggest one of them all.
That's the biggest one.
So you're gaining all this.
Because then that confidence, it will reflect in the business as well.
Oh, massively. Like, bro, the thing is, like, if somebody comes after me, like, whether it's on a personal level or a business level, like, if they're like, oh, Austin, you're I don't know, you're like, what's something people like hate on you for? I don't know.
Well, for me,
Like, just like, so you have an insult. Like, if they're like, oh, Austin, you're like, I don't know, I can't think of one. I don't have that internal dialogue a lot. Like, if they're like, oh, you're a scam, right?
Yeah.
If they're like, oh, you're a scam, you're a guru, you're trying to tell people that, no, I fucking promise you. Like, I could take my shirt off, you could look at my body, and I would be fine if you blasted on social media. I am the body I want to have. I do speak the way I want to speak. When I speak, I don't stutter, very little. Like, I'm a laser beam when I speak. I really put that work in. I put the grind in. I eat the food that I want to eat. I'm on time with my sleep schedule. I try to be on time for everything. And like, so if somebody comes at you and they try to like force something at you, you're like, bro, like that's cool. Like, do your thing.
Because you have
like,
have the proof.
Dating was a big thing for me. Like, approaching women was a big thing that I had a big problem with for years, and it really fucked my self-consciousness. So I was like, okay, well, and now when I approach women, bro, like literally I was out with Jeremy the other day, him and his girlfriend, and I was just like, there were like some really nice ladies around me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to them. And I went up and I went to go talk to them. I got rejected by like 4 of them. No, I got rejected by like 3 of them. One of them didn't speak any English, and one of them was a yes, right? And I was just like, I remember these girls left, like they were like, no, I'm not interested, whatever. And I was just like, at that, like, I was like, man, what kind of men do you like? Like, you know, like I look at like my own internal dialogue. I'm like, if you don't like me, that's fine. Like, if you're not interested in whatever I have, but like that's fine, because like I actually built this intentionally and wanted this. So like, if you don't want this, that is perfectly fine with me, because I want this and I will continue to march this path. So you become so clean and crystal clear with yourself internally that whenever something does come, like a rejection or whatever, or like pushback,
You don't
like,
take
bro,
it personally.
No, I do take it personally, because I'm like, that's fine, bro, but like that's fine, but I really think it. Yeah, maybe it's I don't take it personally, because like they come after you like with an attack or something, and it's just like that has no impact.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're a bad guy, you're this, you're that. It's kind of like, I actually worked very much to become this person, and I think this is actually a lot better person
if you don't
than
like
I've ever
it,
been.
that's...
Yeah, if you don't like it, that's cool. But I really like being this person. Like, this is one I get a lot. They're like, oh, you're so obsessed over health and fitness, and you don't ever live up, and you tell people they shouldn't have fun. I get that a decent bit in my personal life. I think that's completely wrong, by the way. I definitely love to have fun. I have a ball all the time. Like, I have a ball in life, even though shit gets hard. But anyway, when it comes to like, if it comes to like, oh, you're not fun, you don't have life, you don't live life, it's like, I definitely live a great life, and here's why I think this is a better life. This is why I don't think alcohol actually inhibits. This is why I don't think alcohol allows you to have a social life. I think it actually inhibits it. I think it actually damages it, because only through alcohol you can have a social life and you can have fun and you can party. I have a ball with all kinds of people. I have fun talking to everybody. I've been engaged as fuck this whole conversation. I love this, you know? And I hope people watch this and like get inspired by some of these things. I really do. Because you're crystal clear on your interests. So people come at you for things, maybe they might see it differently, but you're like, no, I actually think you should have a lot of fun.
I think it's like if you take all of these things, like the alcohol, like nicotine, fucking social media, porn, like if you like eliminate those things from your life, because oftentimes like they occupy your mind for a long period, like during the day, right? Like, let's say if I want a Zen, like I'm thinking about Zen all the time. Like I had a Zen, like, okay, I don't have a Zen, I have to go buy the Zen. Like, so it fucking takes a lot of like mind space.
For sure.
Right? So
yeah.
Once you, or like people, they want to get a drink, they're thinking like fucking Monday they come to work, right? To job, like, and they're thinking already about Friday, because on Fridays they're usually getting fucked up, right? So that's like during the week, like takes a lot of their mind space. If they eliminate these things from their life, the amount of mind space that opens up, like when they actually start to think like, okay, what the fuck do I actually want, right? Not what people have enforced on me, not things that like, because I mean a lot of it, like even like the alcohol or other things, that comes from fucking media and like brainwashing, and then then you try it and then it becomes a habit. It's like not what people expect of me, who people expect me to be. Right, like, cause like you said, like, it's you're not having drinks with us, like whatever, like
you're weird. You don't have fun.
You're weird, or fucking,
Yeah.
like because you don't have drink with us, and then you start reflecting, like, what the fuck do I actually want? Like, I mean, I have this here in Miami, right? Like, everyone's like, I could buy like fucking 20 sports cars, cash, like today, like fucking like as many as I fucking want. Like I can walk in a fucking Louis Vuitton, like I can be like a walking fucking logo Louis Vuitton, like all this shit. You know how people walk here, like, and it's like I look at all these people. Good for you. I'll do it my own fucking way. You know?
Yeah, and you know, I actually look at that, right? The whole like Louis V and like all this drip and like all this chain and like all this, you know, like flaunting basically.
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, bro, I feel so bad. Because you are really trying to validate yourself because you don't have that internal clarity. You don't have that crystal clarity. I could walk around like in this shirt, this is nothing. I don't know. I think I got this at like Zara. No, it wasn't even, I don't know. It was some like H&M regular store, right? Like most expensive thing are maybe these shoes. It's like $100, right? Regular Nike shoes, everybody has them. I promise you the body as the physical person that I have provides me 100x the magnitude than anybody with any Louis V on.
Because you can buy that.
Yeah,
you can buy it.
You can't buy it.
You have to fucking earn it, like, and it's not easy, and it's fucking hard. Like, you have to craft your body basically for months and years. And it's not just something you come to Louis Vuitton store and you buy a fucking T-shirt for $1,000. You know, it's like
because they're trying to seek that validation. Like, think about what they're doing. They're basically putting on the "I'm cool" T-shirt. Because that's what society's kind of been programmed to look at as cool and everything. They're wearing the "I'm cool, you should like me" T-shirt, and they're adult, grown-ass men trying to look like kids that have the coolest lunchbox at lunch class. And it's like, is that really it, bro?
Man,
like,
it's I've heard this.
That's the peak right there.
I've heard this from someone. Is like, because there's some people that just like, let's say, nice cars, right? I also love like nice cars. Like to drive them. I don't like to fucking maintain them or keep them. Like I like to drive. Like I just fucking run.
Yeah.
I can buy them anytime, but then when I drive, like I don't think about like, oh, it's like fucking I have to make like fucking pictures with it. Like it's like I think if you do things for like if you just buying things, and that's I think the whole like consumption like kind of like culture in US. Is like, okay, you live in a fucking neighborhood, someone has a big house, right? Oh, fuck, like, I need to have a bigger house. Oh, they just bought a new car. Oh, fuck, I need to buy, like, Jonas's, that shit?
Following the Joneses?
Yeah, keeping up with Jonas's, like, oh, it's like they have a car. Oh, I have to buy a car. Oh, the fucking, like, and so it's kind of like you're like fucking, oh, like, let me prove to this fucking person I have.
Super reactive.
Yeah.
Insecurity. Yeah. That's what it all comes down to is insecurity.
It's not, and it oftentimes, it's not even what people fucking want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
just do it because monkey see, monkey do.
For sure.
It's like, oh, it's like everyone is like driving Lambo. Okay, I have to get a Lambo. No, fucking, I can drive like a fucking Toyota if I want to. If that's my decision, and I don't give a fuck about if you like, if you respect me or you have like, just because I have Lambo, like fuck you. Like I don't want to associate with you because like the person like. The person is who the person is, right? And if you don't like me, and it's like all you see is like on surface, it's almost the same as like having like let's say a relationship, and you're only dating like a girl because like she looks good, but she could be like like have like horrible fucking character, Like that's the same, right? It's kind of like there is like inner essence of the person, right? And there is the facade, right? And like the culture. Obviously, all of these brands, they want you to buy this like expensive shit because it causing like it's FOMO, right? It's jealousy, like those emotions.
Like Apple does a great job.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine having like I didn't even know there was a new iPhone, and it's like this is a great phone, but like every year they launch a new phone, and it's like, oh, here's a new one,
It's actually,
it's like
I like it for utility.
I like this. Oh yeah, I think the phone is great. I think iPhones are killer.
The cameras are phenomenal. That's why I appreciate it. But like, they're great at that.
Yeah, but immediately when I'm getting to like, oh, I gotta get the new one because it's the new one, and like I'm like, no, I actually really like this one. I'm gonna keep it.
It's a whole consumption.
It's like impulse. Like if you go one layer deeper, it's easy to identify.
Yeah. And it's like. A lot of people like in debt in the United States, like
in debt massively,
fucking massive credit card debts like they have, right?
I think the average person in the U.S. I looked this up is like $100K in debt.
Yeah,
including like housing and all that.
And it's like, and why they are in debt is because like they bought a lot of shit that they don't actually need. That shit just stays in their garage. Yeah. But in the moment they bought it because they wanted to show off, or they wanted to have like this appreciation from their neighbors, friends, family, whatever. Like that's a lot of, and I mean, as marketers, we can use that to our advantage. Like we can obviously we want to sell as much shit as we can, but it's like, as a consumer, like I think this what makes people like, financially
and like one thing to like kind of hold on here is like people might say, oh well, marketers, like you guys are going to try to build on that, right? Well, the thing is like that is a desire within the market.
Yeah.
Like we can't create desire. They already have the desire. So as the consumer, they already have that desire in them.
Yeah.
We didn't create it. It's just that's just a desire they actually have. Like as you can't create desire.
Yeah.
It's there. It's already an internal factor. So like it's like that's part of it. But a really cool thing you had mentioned, like the Lamborghini thing, right? Mm-hmm. I love cars.
I love it. Too.
I actually rented a McLaren the other weekend when we hit a pretty big goal, and we actually drove it up through the mountains, all through the mountains of like, and dude, there's nobody out there. It is like no man's land. But I'm telling you, like you see a house, you're like, what's he doing out there? Like what animals live in that thing,
But you did it for yourself.
And it was the coolest day, bro. I remember like the exhilaration was insane. Like I still remember locking into that thing and just going zooming through the mountains. Like it was one of the funnest days of my life ever. And I love cars. And then but the quote that I'm getting to is that Dave Ramsey said it, the financial guy. Uh-huh. He said it, and it was a really good quote, actually directly about cars, because I was looking into getting one.
He has a shitload of cars.
Yeah, and you know what he said? A guy called him. He's like, hey, I have this job. Here's my numbers. I can afford the car. He agreed. And he's like, but I'm wondering why I'm doing it. Am I doing it for ego or vanity, or what am I doing it for? And Dave Ramsey was like, well, how I decide I get a car is I basically go, well, if I want, that's a horrible Dave Ramsey impersonation.
I love Dave.
He's like, well, if I was to get a car and I had the same question, I basically came to the conclusion that the question you should ask yourself is, if I bought this car and nobody ever seen me drive it, would I still want the car? And I was like, yes, I would want the fucking car. I wholeheartedly want that car.
Yeah.
Because the thrill of that car and the balance and the mechanics and like the elegance and like all the mechanisms to that car is just so cool. It's worth it to me and the money if nobody ever seen it. And I would drive that car probably every day because I just love it. It's like that's one thing that really gets me going. But like the flashy clothes and everything, nah, I care less. And like, bro, by the way, I still to this day drive a 2002 Ford Escape with 275,000 miles on it. Ripped seats. When I go to close the door panel, the thing rips off. The battery dies on you. The tires were so bald before I left for Miami that literally when I was filling them up with air, the tire was so bald, the wire was showing, and it blew up next to my face.
Man, I think with that we had a conversation about it.
You were talking. I asked you like, yo, should I get a new car? And you were like, yeah, you should probably get a new car if it's that bad.
It's like, don't put yourself in danger or other people. Just for that reason.
And I agree. Honestly, I never really even thought about that far. I probably should have. But like, you just get so locked into things. You're like, you don't even care about it for the vanity. Like it actually just you become so like internal to yourself, and like you really have built like something that you're proud of internally, that you're like the validation is just cheap. Like you almost don't even want it. Like honestly, one of the biggest rejection points that I've noticed, I was talking to one of your team members about this actually. Mm-hmm. He did a similar thing, rented a car, and we were talking about it, and I was doing the math on the cars, man, and I'm like, yo, we could buy this thing. It wouldn't even be a stupid financial decision. We could do it. And he was like, well, yeah, and we and him, but I was kind of sitting like, nah, because it's like it's almost like this like internal thing in your brain where like you don't want to be this flashy guy and you don't want to be this thing, and it like almost takes the joy out of you. But there's this one guy, he actually lives here in Miami, Wes Watson. I think he has this quote. It's like acquire what you inspire. And I look at it and like kind of my final decision making factor on it was like, when I see these cars, I stop and look at them. I get excited to look at them. I'm the guy that's like, yo, go rev, like go fly down the road, all this stuff. Like I'm the guy that kind of like instigates that because it's exciting, it's exhilarating to me. And I would hope the people that are similar to me, the people that I want to attract, see that, and they will see that, and they'll think the same thing, and they'll be inspired to go get it. And I'll give them the same conversation about from the bottom to where we're at now, and they can do it. So it's a tool to actually inspire. And you're always gonna have these dickheads that are like, oh, he just got a Ferrari because his dad's rich. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like whatever, go scrub. I don't even want you around me. Like you're just like you have the drifter's disease, right? Napoleon Hill.
Don't be a
drifter. Like, he's just.
But you do it. But you do it for. I mean, you do it for yourself in the first place, right? Because like you enjoy it. Like exactly. I think it's like when you put like others, like people kind of like perspective, you do it for. You know what I mean? Like
for other, you do it for the vanity.
Yeah. When you do it like just because like you. And it's like, I think that line is so kind of like blurry. It's like, because I mean, maybe I mean at the end of the day,
blurry.
yeah, maybe at the end of the day,
so.
we I mean, we're social fucking animals, right? And we do it like
Yeah.
certain things for other people as well, right? It just like I think the biggest kind of like distinction is like, I've seen so many people that they're like kind of like in this like flashy mindset, right? And they just like cars, like vacations, like bam bam bam. So they go that path. The problem was that, and then like, okay, someone buys a bigger car, but more expensive car, and so they kind of like go and go and go. It's like, the problem is like there's always like ways to go, and that's like what they prioritize above everything else, right? So even like, let's say you're making money, but then like you're spending all that money on like lifestyle, right? So you're not taking care of your like financial like needs, right? You're not investing money, and then it's like, I don't know, at some days, you know, like basketball players or fucking NFL players, when they have this crazy lifestyle, they have great income, they're not investing, they're just fucking blowing it all up, and then boom, their fucking career is over.
Injury, boom.
You know, yeah, it's like, that's it, you know, they're done, and like many of them like, you know, bankrupt after their career. And so I think there's like, I don't know, maybe there's like a sweet spot, you know, like you buy certain things to reward yourself, right? And then, but then like you don't let it over like consume you. Like you don't make your whole life around it, right? Because like the whole life is like, how can I show off more? How can I show off more? Because that path never ends. There's always will be someone richer, someone who's bigger car, bigger fucking jet. Like that path like never fucking ends.
Yeah.
It's, I think, yeah. And also depends like how you're monetizing it. Like if you're monetizing it and like, okay, you're making money and then you like reinvesting money into the business or investing something else, then it's a probably smart kind of like allocation. But it's like just doing something because other people are doing it and not like reflecting on why you do it like yourself, right? Just like, okay, I want to be like this guy, but why? Maybe like that won't make me happy, you know?
Yeah, and you know the thing is, man, when it comes to social like cues as to how you should act, like the thing is that it's a line that I'm currently navigating now. Because like I've always been like, yo, like I think because it was just so like my whole entire life was just money scarcity, money scarcity, money scarcity. Like I literally still live with my mom. Like to this day, technically I still live with her. Right? And the thing is like I was just like, once the business started working, I was like, I'm just gonna hunker down. I'm just gonna lock in. Like nothing is gonna come between me and pushing this thing to the moon. And I'm glad I did it. But I think I did it because it meant so much to me to push it to that level. Is like see what like it basically brought. But the thing is that I had no social cue. And one of the hardest things current day when it comes to discipline and like optimizing yourself as an entrepreneur and becoming like a better person of yourself is it's very hard to kind of gauge that when there's no one around you to gauge it with. You know, you're like, how hard am I going? How well am I doing? What is my rate of execution? You don't really know. So I think it is a good idea to compare to some degree because when I'm here in Miami, I have just pushed so much work out the door. It's insane. Because like I now have like, it like amps up your competitive nature. So I think it is good, but like, and now like the lifestyle has increased. Like I have a really nice apartment, you know, this like staying in a nice apartment, yada, yada. And it's like super inspiring. It's like that fresh breath of air. Like, like you're actually like, you know, you thought about this and dreamed about it for so long and now it's here.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, but internally it's the fresh breath of air to me. It's very fresh to me. Like there's no posts on my Instagram, like nowhere you could scroll through the thing. I could pull it up right now. There's no like flexing with the McLaren and like, you know, showing off watches, nothing like that. Like it's just for me. Like it goes back to the Dave Ramsey thing. If nobody else were to see I had this, would I still enjoy it? And the answer is absolutely. Right? And I think that's where you kind of have to ask yourself is like, what is the thing that sparks me to acquire this? For me, it's very much like I just really enjoy it. But you know what? Like a lot of people are on the like might be watching this like, bro, I just want the fucking Ferrari because like I just want everybody in high school to know I'm the biggest baller in the state. And it's like, if that's what you're gonna do, bro, I have no issue with that. I'm saying, bro, you run it up, you do your thing. Like you're putting the effort and discipline in as long as
it doesn't become the end goal, right? I've seen a lot of people kind of like achieving these goals, right? And then they have no other reasons. Like, so after you achieve that goal, you show off to everyone, you prove to everyone, just readjust and set bigger goals, you know? Like you wanted to prove, go for it. That's your motivation. That's your drive. That's your fuel. Then at this, you achieve this level, like you proved it, let's say to everyone, like in high school, like then find someone fucking bigger, like, or like have something else on a higher level pissing you off, so that drives you farther, or find another motivation.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced that myself. Like I've had, I have many people like, you know, throughout my life, like telling me that I won't like ever like account to anything. And then at some point I'm like, I achieved like fucking, I surpassed like fucking like what they have achieved like in their lifetime, like within a few years. And then it's like, it was fucking empty.
I know exactly. I just ran into that.
Okay.
I know exactly that feeling. And it's going back to what we were talking about earlier, where it's like when you're in the fucking trenches, there's so many things you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like record months, great numbers, business stable, everything, like everything's good, and you're just like, but what next?
Yes.
It's like, do I want the Miami apartment? Do I want the car?
And
what is it?
And that's even like with people like that have like exited the businesses.
I'd imagine that's horrible.
Man, it's fucking empty as
Yeah,
fuck.
I'd
get
imagine.
Depressed. Like
Fuck.
So that's why like I think it's after you exit the bit, if you exit the business, like it's a few months like readjustment, like fucking traveling, you know, whatever, chilling. Like you need few months off, like 3-6 months from people I've talked to. And then you just set up like a bigger fucking huge fucking goal, like go into very competitive industry, something that fucking drives you like to fucking like something that really pisses you off internally, something that you're like very passionate about. Because I mean at that point money probably won't be the concern, and that's like fucking every day you grind at that.
It's like the internal, like what is you, you know? Like
Yes.
Like that's the thing, like what gets you where you're like, I want to be that guy. You know, because money, when I was in the beginning, I was like, there's no way money wouldn't be a motivator. In the beginning, man, I'm telling you, like up until like, it was a long time. Like I'm talking like for a full year, I was just like, I don't give a fuck, money. Like it's like anything that had to be done, I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. Like there was no hours in the day that was a problem. There was no stress, there was nothing that was like, money is not the end motivator, because it was just like, when you live that life of like extreme scarcity and I've had a great family, friends were, you know, whatever, we're not getting into that. But like everything else seemed great. Great health, great family, great relationship with God, like all these different things. And then it's like, but then there's money. You can't go where you want to go. You can't see who you want to see. Your medical bills, you can't pay them. You can't go to the dentist. Like I had my teeth were like horrible for years of my life, like massive insecurities from money, all these different problems. And it's like to fix all that, the motivation is like massive. Like there's no problem with just getting money in, because you know what it gives to you. And if it's not your motivation, I'm gonna be honest, brother. Like I don't know. Like I just don't think you've experienced the suck before. Like I think when you really get the suck, it's enough. You know, like in the beginning, it's plenty enough. So anyway, but what I'm getting to is then like, do you have that? And the money was great, but then it was like very quick, like, yo, what next? And it was like, okay, hit this new month. It's like, nah. It's like we can do it, but like, and we did it, and it's just like, but like, cool. You know, it was just like pat on the back, you did it. But really, when I took that car out, this is actually when I realized this, and talked to Vil as well. It was like, what the driving factor actually was that I am that individual in that moment. Like just the person that is just relentless. Like they don't, like whatever it is, they just do it. They just do it. Like that to me is just like the always improving, just like improving individual. That's the end goal. I can't stress that enough. Like all these different things that are like, if this is you in this circumstance, bro, figure out what you got to do on your own. Like I think it's actually way more individual than what we're trying to say here, but it seems like we have some like similarities there. So like I think it's important, but like, man, I think it's trying to figure out like the individual you want to be.
Oh yeah. I
think that's one of the biggest things. And you know, like
who you are, right? Like what actually drives you, like what actually excites you. Like because for different people that would be different things.
Yeah.
And
whatever, like this is one thing I want to say is like, I don't think you, like, you know how we were talking about like, oh, the cars and the Louis Vuitton and all this. It's like, like and we're kind of like personally, I felt like I was kind of like hating on it to a degree. But and for me, it's not my thing. It's just personally not my thing.
Yeah.
I kid you not, if some kid is like 20, like let's say me, but I care about that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I want to go buy the Louis Vuitton and like Dior and like all this crazy everything and like Penthouse and, you know, McLaren and all this. If I was talking to a 22-year-old me personally, I wouldn't want to associate him with him. Like, not that I disagree with him, but like for me, that's not the internal vibe I'm trying to go for. But if that's what somebody's like aspiring to do, bro, I'm so down for you to do it.
Yeah.
As long as you're acquiring these things ethically, I'm down for you to do it. like I hate black hat or anything. Like I hate those fucking people. But like other than that, like the ethical like business owners, bro, go for it. You earned it.
Yeah.
You know, like don't try to let me steer your ship. Do what you want to do.
How would you go from 0 to 1 mil a month?
If I were to start at 0, getting to $1 million a month, first thing I would do is product research. What I would start doing is looking for competitors that are running at least 100,000 visitors to their website and have 100 ads running on Facebook Ads Manager. And then I would make sure that the visitors that they're getting and the ads they're running to a specific product, not just to every 10 different ones. I want to see one product with those 2 criteria. That's how I would start out with the product research. Then once I have the product research, I've decided, hey, this is a good product. Looks like this has high likelihood of winning. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look to see, okay, what are their ads? I'll use, if you don't have GitHook, you can use Facebook as well. But I would be looking to see which ads have been running for at least 2 weeks, and ideally, which ones have high engagement, meaning those are the ones that are not only running, but they're actually spending and they're getting views and they're converting, right? So then once I have that, I'm going to look at likes, views, comments, those kind of things, and see what has a lot of engagement. Then once I have those ads, and I would typically, what would you say specifically, like 3 video ads and then an image ad?
Yeah.
That's a good. I think that's a good mix. Yeah, like three video ads and an image ad. Each ad for videos having 3 hooks, right? 3 hooks each video, and from there. But now you're gonna have to ask the question: where do you get the content for those ads, right? How do you make those ads? So what I would do is, oh, by the way, with the scripting, is I would then get the script. I would go ahead and copy. I mean, I don't know if they have GitHooked or something. They can use GitHook, the subscription. If they can't, then they could also just literally type it out, whatever, just get the script, right? Get the exact script, and then from there, you're gonna be able to, basically, I would ask ChatGPT or Claude to say, hey, change this slightly, and also use your brain and try to improve it, but you wanna change it up so you're not infringing on copyright, and you're not gonna have any problems there with Facebook or bans or anything like that. That'll set you back way too far to risk it. So that's how I would go there. When it comes to B-roll and everything, what I would be doing is, they don't have the product either. They wouldn't have the product, assuming they're doing like a drop shipping style.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you do then if you didn't have the product? How would you get content? You were just talking about it.
I would just probably find a similar product on Amazon, would ship it to myself, so I can make a content with it, right? Because many of the products that you're trying to sell, like they're already available on Amazon. So I would do that. So I have the product. Alternatively, I would ship it from my supplier, but then, in China, let's say, but it would take too long. So ideally, we want to move faster. Then, I would get the product if I can. If I can't, I would probably try to find some footage, maybe on like AliExpress listings, some photos, and then feed that into AI. Like for example, Veo, Sora, like right now, like you basically can upload the image of your product, and then you can create the images with like videos with actual like UGC creator, like holding your product, and it looks like very realistic. And there's also voiceover. So let's say UGC kind of content you can create very fast with your specific product. Like literally the person is almost like showing your product and talking exactly, what you want them to say. That just simplifies, the whole process with the content creation. Image ads also very simple. You take the image from GetHooked, like one of the top performing image formats. There's before and after, features, benefits, us versus them, whichever ones that is. You feed it into like, you can use image generation, GetHooked. You can generate 4 variations, about 60 seconds. Or you can take that image, feed it into like ChatGPT, give basic information about your product and what you, kind of like how you want to replace the text. Let's say if there's any text on the image. So provide your tags that you want to put there. Like you just want to be very specific with AI, like kind of like in terms of tags, because it oftentimes
messes it up. And you can also, sometimes all you even do with images is download it and then go to Canva and swap it out.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, even like if you have any pictures of the product, you can go to Fiverr and give it to a image developer, whatever they're called. What's it called again?
Man, like I would
and they'll do it.
I would probably not go to Fiverr because like I would want to learn that skill set.
I agree.
Like initially it's like, for example, you were editing your own videos, right? That was tremendously valuable skill set because now like what actually makes the successful ad.
Completely agree.
Right? So I would not try to outsource it or delegate it from day one until you have at least like some very good understanding what makes a good ad, what makes a good, if you started building the product page or landing page, Like you just want to get those straps and get your hands dirty, like because otherwise, like you'll hire some people, they'll produce some work for you, and you won't even know if it's good work or not.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's a good point. And when it comes to B-roll, how you were talking about getting the product off Amazon and actually recording it with yourself, I think that's massive. Like if you're your customer demographic, record yourself, get a tripod, do it on your own.
I'll tell you this, like so for example, one of our products, I mean you know our products, right? So basically the main product that we are selling right now, like this product made basically over like $15-20 million at this point. Like it's basically like a product that didn't exist before. The way we started testing that product, we ordered the similar product on Amazon. We literally printed a fucking logo and kind of like the
Ingredients?
No, the
Packaging?
packaging, but like how do you call it? The sticker, like the sticker that goes on a bottle.
Yeah, the packaging.
Yeah. We basically printed it out like one of the like print shops here. Like we put it on a bottle. We took the photos, right? I mean, you were taking photos, and it's like, and we put it on the website. We put some ads together. And we started fucking selling it.
Yeah.
$20 million, like.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think the fastest way that they can go from it, literally, if you're like, okay, I validated the product, 100,000 views, 100 ads, same product, and you're like, boom, I need to get this ad and start pumping out ads. You get the script, you make the script, and then from there you need to get the footage. Boom, what you're gonna do, I would completely agree, get it from Amazon, and then as fast as you can possibly, like, if you're the demographic, you get the footage of yourself. If your mom is a demographic, her friend, your friends, whoever, lady from the gym, guy from the gym, whatever, just like figure somebody out to be on camera. And you can start getting that content rapidly. And I think that's the fastest way to start executing. And you could do this in a day, 2 days, literally just find somebody and record like 50 B-roll clips. But then what you're gonna do is you launch those 3 video ads, get those 3 video ads, launch them, and then you're gonna get the data back, right? The videos and then the static. And then you're gonna go, okay, then you're gonna kind of analyze, is this an ad problem or is this a funnel problem, right? Like if your CPC is $15 or $5, it's like, well, obviously it's an ad problem. But if let's say you do get those people to go over to your funnel, but the ad to cart is like 20%, you got a great, your ads suck, but your funnel's great. Then you move and you differentiate where's the problem from there. If your hook rate is 10%, well, that's probably why your CPC is like, crazy high, like not $15, probably like, maybe a few dollars, but that's bad. Right, so then what you're gonna do is okay, let's try to get this hook rate to like 60 or 50, or try to get it up, right? And try to figure out what worked, and then you just kind of iterate on that. And don't be scared to mess up. Because when I first started out, I was like, but I don't know this ad finally worked. Like, I don't want to be like a bad win rate. No, you just need to go. Just get the experience points. Try to figure out what worked and just start implementing quickly on that. Then once you get that, once you see, okay, funnel's good, ad is bad, start improving on ads. If it's the vice versa, go vice versa. And what I would say, once something starts kind of working, I look to see what's working. And then from there, I'm testing 2 things, creatives and offers, right? I'm testing, and by offers, I mean like the pricing. If you have ad-free gifts, if you cannot add free gifts, maybe BOGO, add bundles, things like that. Ads and offers. So from there, then you're gonna kind of get an idea. Then what are some metrics you would suggest to look for during that testing phase, like funnel metrics and then like ad metrics?
Yeah, so ad metrics, click-through rate, CPC link. So click-through rate link, CPC link. Then hook rate, hold rate. So you see kind of like where the breakdown is happening in the ad. Like, do people not stop scrolling and watch your ad, or do people actually start watching but they're not engaged enough to continue watching that ad for a long period of time in order to understand your product and to buy it? So that's on the ads side. CPMs, I know a lot of people asking about CPMs, but it's like CPMs could be just like so many different factors, especially if you have like new ad account. Facebook will probably punish you with like $60, $100, $200 CPMs. So you just have to kind of like warm it up. You might use some engagement ads to kind of like get some momentum going. And especially if you're going into niche like beauty or health, they'll probably try to punish you big time with like very expensive CPMs.
So if they have high CPM, what do you do? Let's say click-through rate is good. Let's say that you're getting, good hook rate. everything kind of looks good on soft metric, but CPM is really expensive. What's the goal?
So there are certain things that are within your control and certain things that are outside of your control. I mean, you can't just like ask Zach, to lower your CPMs. So what I would do is first I would review the footage. I would see if there is no aggressive, maybe there's like too much skin or maybe some aggressive wording that is being used, and that's why Facebook is punishing you with expensive CPMs. If your ads are legitimately very compliant, very like clean, and Facebook is still giving you like very high CPMs, then it's maybe something with the ad account. So at this point, I would probably explore like, other ad accounts. I would
literally make a new ad account and test it there.
Yeah, or agency account. So because maybe the account is flagged for some reason.
And one thing that I've known consistently is like ripping content can get you really ridiculous CPM.
Yep.
Like and by the way, on the ad and the funnel.
Yeah.
Like on your product page. Facebook scans your product page. So if you're ripping content and they identify it from a different merchant, they'll punish you either way, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so for sure.
And then on the funnel side, it's if you have the advertorial, it's...
Let's say they're not advertorial. Let's say these guys are like day one, first product ever, Shopify PDP.
Conversion rate AAV, like basically.
Okay, but like before the conversion rate, like you're looking at add to cart, initiate checkout.
Yeah.
What's a good add to cart?
Add to cart has to be like ideally like 10%. That's what we're aiming for. If it's below like 5%, it means like your product pages are not engaging enough in order for people to make the purchase, or people just simply didn't get enough information, or maybe the price is too high or the offer is not good.
The offer, yeah.
Right. So I would look into all of those elements. I would make sure, like, let's say on the product pages, they have good photos of the product, all of the features, like all the benefits, all the emotional like copy or transformation copy, before and afters or social proof, how to use the product, because a lot of the time it's like people like not adding product to the cart because like, okay, I see this product and it kind of makes sense, but like, how the fuck do I use it? And so like, let's say you have like product, like there's like 4 steps of using the product. If it's like a t-shirt, like, I mean, you don't need that. You just put a t-shirt on, right? But if it's like a gadget or like even like your products, like explaining how to like use it and how it works with one or few gifts, like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Or if you have like, like typically the products that are a little bit more difficult to understand or use, you have to explain it. So you almost like have to put yourself in your customer's shoes. It's like sometimes we just like take everything for granted. Like, it's so easy. It's so fucking, this is the product. Like that's what it is. Like it's so easy to understand. But it is for us because we're selling these products and we're like emotionally attached to them.
And now when it comes to, so this is all great, but when it comes to the actual implementation of how do I make the correct product page, right? Because we can say make a product page, but how is the student listening to this going to know? How are they going to know this is the right product page? And now, like I was asking the question, but like how I would answer it is look at what your competitor's doing and copy it very closely. Once again, don't rip anything, but get like inspiration, like mimic it, right? We already know this is winning. We're going after this product because we already know it sells. It's not a question of if it sells. We know it sells. Yeah. So you're basically now looking at it and you're like, okay, this is their above the fold images. How can I mimic this? Yes. This is how they have their headline. This is how I can mimic it. This is where they have their add to cart. This is where their FAQ is. This is where they're this and that. This is how their color scheme is. By the way, a product page I don't think should ever have more than 3 colors. I think that's right. That was one thing I had an issue with. Like I noticed with people, they have like 5 different colors above the fold. It's like orange background, blue button, like green headline. It's like, no, you want like,
you know, from that standpoint, yeah.
Like your page layout needs to be like white background throughout most of the page. Yeah. It needs to normally have like black text and then like a color like accent, like color buttons and stuff.
You want to have space between like sentences, for example, so it's easier to comprehend.
Yeah. So basically.
The more also like the more visuals you can have, like if there are certain things like you can say with words versus you can show as an image or a GIF.
Icons.
Yeah, it's better to have it, in a visual way.
Scanning, yeah.
Yeah, because like visual information is like perceived a lot faster than the text.
So and most people are just like swiping
Oh
through.
yeah.
Like if they need that like 0.1 second information hit.
Yep.
And one thing that like I found when I had a big issue with when I first started was like, what's the one thing I'm trying to say here? And you know, when you're in the beginning, it's hard. Like, you know, you have like, I see a lot of people, they have like these like icons and it's like they're trying to say one thing, like, I don't know, acne serum, acne, like maybe potent, you know, it could say like strong formulation, but that's what it should say. But theirs will say like strong formulation for really strong and acne removing, and it's like, get rid of your acne immediately. That's like 4 different things, you know? It should be like strong formulation, permanent results, whatever it may be, right? So you need to be very concise. Don't try to throw everything at it. But so that's where I'm getting to, like copy, like mimic competitors.
Yeah.
You know, that's like a really important thing. Like look at the competitor. This is how they're formatting their page. This is how I'm going to format mine. Try to keep all the order of all the different elements. Like let's say above the fold, images, like they have 5, you have 5. They have like a 2 text, like a two-line headline, you have a 2-line headline. Yeah. They have the, you know, add to cart, right? Maybe the competitor has 4 bullet points, you have 4 bullet points. He has emojis, you have emojis. He has an add to cart button that's green, you have an add to cart button that's green. Underneath it are like credit card icons, you have credit card icons. Then it's like, you know, three what do you call it? Like the little drop down FAQ things. Mm-hmm. You have the 3 drop down FAQ things. You know, those kind of things. There's not really a one size fits every product page. And I've actually been surprised how much you can move them around and still win, still get good results. But go after the competitor and follow it very closely. Like if all their text is like to the far, like if all their text is like pulled over to the far left side of the screen, yours is far left side of the screen. Mm-hmm. You know, like you really want to like mimic the layout. And when it comes to getting the copy, one thing that I've found that helps a lot is basically having ChatGPT do really good research. And by the way, if you suck at prompting, there's this one software called Prompt Cowboy. Uh-huh. I think it's free. I've been using it. They haven't charged me anything. I don't even think there was a trial. I think it's literally just free. It's called Prompt Cowboy. And I'll just go on and I'll go on voice command. I'll be like, hey, Prompt Cowboy, I'm trying to sell this acne serum product and I really need to know everything and anything about the product. I need you to do deep research about the customers, all competitors in the market space, sophistication, avatars, everything. And I just give it that. And then Prompt Cowboy basically gives you your crappy prompt you just gave it to like world-class AI prompts. Oh, wow. And it's free. And you copy that prompt and then you put it in ChatGPT and get the deep research. And then you basically have that. And then you put that into a Claude project in Claude. And then you get like a bunch of reviews. And then you go through like Amazon, get a bunch of reviews, put it in the Claude. And then you can use that as basically like your kind of project to get a lot of that forward momentum for your like correct copy. And then you say, hey, Claude, for example, I'm going to give you a lot of my competitors' marketing material. Please use this to make your decisions based off the product page or ads or whatever you're running. That'll help you speed up big time. So now that you have the ads, you have the product page, now you have a high probability of winning because you know everything there has been mimicked off what already is working. And then from there, I'd say you put it live. You know, and then you kind of see the results of and I think offer is a big thing. Like, let's say that they have really good ad metrics, but their funnel's not converting. What would you do? Let's say low add to cart rate, like 2%, but they're getting good clicks from their ads. What's the first thing they should test? I mean,
I would first review if there is enough information on that product page to make purchasing decision. That's like number one. Mm-hmm.
What are some major factors for good information?
I mean, the comparison of the product to other products on the market, because that's what a lot of people are typically considering, because people see different ads or different brands or different solutions, and they're considering which one is the best. So you want to compare that, how to use the product, social proof, results, explanation of the unique advantages of the product. So if you have, let's say you're selling like skincare cream, like what ingredients does your product have, or what is unique mechanism of your product specifically that your competitors don't have, right? Mm-hmm. So really dialing in on those, because in those saturated competitive markets, like it's all on the differentiation. So you want to communicate that clearly. If you fixed all of that and still like add to cart is low, then maybe your price is too high. So try to either improve the offer or just like lower the price. Typically, if you lower the price and if your conversion like increases, it means, you know, price was like a big factor. But sometimes like you lower the price and nothing changes, conversion rate doesn't change, or add to cart rate doesn't even change, then it means like people just don't give a shit. like because they don't want to buy it even at a lower price. So changing the price is such a big like indicator whether you're explaining the value of your product right. Because let's say the product was like $40 and people were not adding it to cart, were not buying it. Now you lowered it to 20, they don't want to add it to cart or buying it $20. Then it means you're not communicating the value of your product or the benefits that it gives.
Yeah.
It's great validation point.
Yeah, because like the value of the product is basically how the customer perceives it.
Yeah.
So it's like the perception is what you really need to give to them. Like give them very clear reason why it's better.
Yeah.
It's not just a hair serum. It's the hair serum that came from ancient Africa and they found it in this cave and it's the only one on earth and like, that's what makes it so potent, that kind of thing. So, okay, so now we've kind of figured out the ads and then so now they've got the first product test, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that this product actually wins, right? Let's say that they're actually able to start cranking out profit on like a small scale. So then what they would do, from what I'm thinking is, I would be going through more of my competitors' meta library, ad library, Facebook ad library, whatever.
GitHook.
And GitHook, yeah, you can use GitHook. And then I would be seeing what everything else is high engagement. What else has been working? What else is high engagement? And then from there, that would give me like a really clear idea of the next concepts I should be testing, which I would be testing rapidly. Once again, more B-roll. Oh, and when it comes to actually making the voiceovers, one thing you could do is like it could be you in the ad, like because we talked about the footage. And
11 Labs.
Yeah, 11 Labs. Yeah, 11 Labs are like HeyGen, two really good AI tools for voiceover. Anyway, but then I would be looking what else is working for my competitors. But then I'm also going to be seeing what else is also working for me, right? So I'd be looking at competitors and other players in the market, and I would be implementing more of like the ads that I think that are already working, trying to make them better or mimic them at least. And then the other side is once I start getting some winning ads, I start having a couple of winning ads, what I'm going to start doing is this. So basically like iterating on the ad, right? So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, let's say there's different angles, right? Like, or use the acne serum thing again. So you have like maybe different angles could be reduces acne scoring. Maybe it could be gets rid of acne immediately. It could also be, I don't know, I don't have acne, but what's another one? Like maybe gentle on skin. Maybe it could be like potency for best results, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say you have angle 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so you just have a winning ad with angle 1, right? Then what you could do is you could basically say, you can go into Claude and basically do this again. Say, hey, Claude, this is the ad can you keep as many things similar but change it to this angle? Mm-hmm. All right, and then, hey, Claude, guess what? This is the winning ad, change it to this angle. This is the winning ad, change it to this angle. And you're trying to keep as many things similar as possible, but just changing the angle, right? That would be major. And then another way you could do it, same winning ad, right? But now you have different stages of awareness, right? So you have like, you guys can just look up stages of awareness, right? And there's basically 5 stages.
This part you covered.
What?
This part you covered so well in the
And the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't do it?
Yeah, if you can go like, let's go to 100K a month. Like, let's do like a few minutes there and that's it. Because I think it's like,
too much?
Yeah. It will be like overwhelming for people. It's like people whoa.
Okay, that could be true.
Yeah. So like.
Anyway, so we'll just kind of cut this part in again.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so then once you have those winning ads, you basically look at competitors, you see what else is working, try to mimic that, try to figure out different angles, and then from there you're going to actually start basically it's like doubling down, tripling down ad output.
So that should be enough for people to get to like 100K a month, right?
I think so, yeah.
Let's say once you get to 100K a month, like what do you do?
Once you get 100K a month, I would continue to do that. I think ad output is king, creative is king, quality ad output is king, and I would continue to be testing offers and things like this, constant tests and stuff. But I would also be going after, like filling in the gaps that are only like when you're only pushing Facebook, there's a lot of gaps, right? Like you need email marketing. Yeah. I would work with an email agency. I would suggest, because that should add anywhere from like at least 10%, or like hopefully like closer to 30. So let's say 20%.
We're getting like 30, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So like let's just say conservatively, 20% of revenue comes from email. So that increases your ROAS immediately by 20, or your CPA by 20% better. And then on top of that, I would also add Google, work with an agency on Google. Once you have the Google agency, they're basically going to help you, get that spillover from Google back to Meta, or actually capture that like low traffic. I would also start running a lot of retargeting, because at that point you kind of do have demand. Start running retargeting with like static ads. Once again, going to competitors, seeing what works. Low bottom of the funnel stuff, meaning like the customer, you just need to give them a little bit of a push with a good offer. And then after that, I would also, let's see, I think that's basically it. Those are the 4 things. So email, Google, ad output, retargeting.
And potentially Amazon.
Amazon, yeah, potentially, yeah.
Right, like maybe like I recommend for people like at 200, 300K a month to consider Amazon. If they have good quality product, that's important because bad reviews on Amazon can destroy you. And also you need to have the trademark for your product because you'll have probably a lot of copycats jumping on it. But like 200, 300K a month, you can add Amazon, it will add another like 10, 20, 30% of your sales with great profitability. Amazon for us runs at like 50, 60% profit margins, which is great. Like if we do like, let's say $1 million on Amazon, like it's $500,000 profit. Like
it's pretty crazy, yeah.
It's
it's stable too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Super stable, yeah.
Yeah, Amazon is great. And then that spillover traffic, it's just Amazon is the best at like recovering it. And then, I think one of the biggest things, like as people scale through these stages, they just need to like if that's applicable, like I think reinvesting into some product development or making their product better, I think that's what you did naturally from the start with your product. But like, let's say you're selling a product and your product has certain like defects or like certain things that people complain about, creating a better like version of the product. You don't have to like completely reinvent the product or create it from scratch, but just like fixing those little gaps with the product. Maybe it's a button that doesn't work reliably, or maybe it's a packaging that's like, products come damaged to the customers. Maybe it's if that's a formula, maybe certain ingredients cause allergic reactions. So tweaking those to make the product better, because one of the biggest things that are eating profit, like in e-commerce businesses, is returns, refunds, chargebacks. And so if you fix those, like let's say 1% reduction in returns, will basically increase your profitability by like 5-10%. Like it's massive.
Which if you're saying somebody's already at like simple math $500K a month and they just improved 10%, you just brought 50 grand profit back in your account. That's pretty major.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that I wish I learned earlier was like it's not just the percentage, it's a total number.
Yeah.
And like 10% of 500K a month is pretty massive.
And there is certain things like with returns, with refunds, there are certain things that are inside of your control, within your control, like the quality of your product, the shipping, the customer experience. And there's certain things like, for example, customers just don't want to fucking keep the product, right? Like, or maybe like they just want to return it, use it and return it. Like some people do it with clothing, like they use the clothing and then they return it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So there are certain things you can control from your side and you should just focus on those, but keep a detailed like log of all of the customer like complaints. Like we have this like big list, and then like once a month we just run it through like ChatGPT and basically kind of identify, okay, so 80% of people complain on the bottles of our products because they're leaking, like the product, like so the manufacturing wasn't reliably done, and we have like let's say 5% defect rate on that particular product, which cost us like a lot of money, like because then we have to refund the customers. We lost our customer, we lost the acquisition cost, and so for example that's the biggest concern. Boom, we send it to our manufacturer, our supplier, adjust it, tweak it. Some people complain about allergic reactions from some ingredients. Boom, next variation of the product we're working on is like has less of these very sensitive ingredients, like softer formula. So it's kind of like constant product development. Yeah, if you think about like Apple, right? Like every year they're creating like slightly different, slightly better version of the phone. They're fixing the bugs with the previous one, and they're adding something similar, like something like new. And then, or you think about Manscaped, like every year, like Manscaped.
I've heard of it. I don't know.
It's like basic like a shaver for for men for hair, and so every year they create like a new version of their like shaver. So now it's like version 5.0. Like a few years ago it was version 1.0. It was shitty product, but then like okay they started selling it. They started getting feedback. Okay, people complain about blades are too sharp. It's not waterproof, so people would put it underwater. It would stop working. I don't know, maybe some other things. So then they created version 2.0. Bring it to the market, get the feedback, make version 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. So even with your product, how many versions you had? Like 2?
Right now we're at 2. We're moving fast towards 3.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what like you
almost year after year we
like
make a third one.
And nobody fucking told you this, right? I mean, you just kind of like naturally do it because you want to improve your product. So
and I think that's major. Like I think of that's one thing. Coconut, remember that guy that spoke in
Yeah,
podcast? He was major, and he had a ridiculously high customer return rate, didn't he? Like he had like, what was it? I don't know if we can say. Can we say
50? Yeah,
it was high. It was like almost half his customers came back just so they love the product. So product is pretty major. But now there's a lot of guys here. They're okay. Well, I get my first product. Like, okay, like if they're working with a big manufacturer, it might take months and years. So it's like, okay, this product's good. Maybe it's like a 4-star. It's not like a 5-star product. It's like a 4-star product. They're like, okay, well, how do I continue to scale and keep my business up while making this 2.0, or something like that. And so like at that point, like when do you start recommending getting into funnels? Like full on like advertorial, better checkouts,
I think
post-purchase flows.
Yeah, probably like after like few $100,000 a month, unless, probably at that stage. And also, I would also consider like if your product is cheap, like if your product's like 20, $30, like you may not need like funnels. Like you might like your product page can convert to like 5-7% and you could just print with that. But if your product, let's say it's like on the more expensive side and you want to add more customized upsells to increase your average order value, if you want to pre-sell your product with some pre-sale pages, you want to use VSLs maybe also as upsells for your product, then you can absolutely get into like funnels. But yeah, after a few $100,000 a month, because I think there's also like level like of complexity that comes with it. Like Shopify just fucking moves things around. Like you can build a store like in one day. With funnels, it's a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more techy.
It definitely is.
And
there's a big learning curve.
Yeah. And so you would have to either like figure it out yourself or to hire someone and then manage them. But like the amount of time that it will take, it just will slow you down a bit, like in the short term. So I would recommend to do it after you already have the momentum, so that maybe at least you can buy the experience of other people to build it out for you. Test it out side by side. Let's say your standard Shopify store versus like funnels. See how it converts. See the average order value. See which platform gives you more upside, and then maybe like you will test funnels and it's like doesn't work well for you. Just stick with Shopify and just scale it harder. Maybe with smaller AOV, but your conversion rate is higher. There's less complexity. CPM. Yeah, lower complexity in the business.
Yeah.
But maybe Checkout Champ will work better for you. So I would just test these both like side by side.
Test different funnels.
Yeah.
Like ClickFunnels, Checkout Champ, Funnelish, and you'll actually find it's quite drastic.
What did you see?
Like different CPMs, different conversion rate.
Which one was the best?
I personally like Checkout Champ.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's way more development though. Like you have to have a developer.
Yeah.
Like you basically, that developer is going to be like the lifeblood.
Yeah.
It's the most complex, but it worked the best, I found. But the thing is, man, I know so many guys that love Funnelish.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't know if it's like.
We still run some stuff on Funnelish.
Oh, you do? Yeah, I've heard so many different opinions on it. I think it's really a test thing. I think that's not at all hard, cut and dry.
I think so, yeah.
I think they all work. But anyway, I think once at that point, man, like once you have all the agencies, you're figuring out how to convert one winning ad into like 20. You're able to get a higher AOV or a better conversion rate. Your offers dialed in. I think at that point it's kind of rinse and repeat. I kind of see it as like it's just more ads, expanding to more avatars, changing up, basically like learning how to keep things fresh and keep things moving.
Yeah.
And from there, I mean, maybe it's, I don't know when the exact number is, but I mean, then at that point I'd be looking to see, well, how do I maximize this market? And then from that point, how do I add more products?
Yes. I think that kind of, and even like, I think even like as you, maybe you just like starting out or maybe getting that initial momentum, like 50, 100K a month, but you're thinking about this business long-term, you want to build something long-term, you'll need multiple different products in that market. So I would just keep an eye open for like, whenever you see maybe like an interesting product, you see an interesting like, something that maybe your customers are asking about, like let's say you sold them like a holster, right? Like you sell them your product and they're asking like, hey, do you have like X, Y, and Z, right? I don't know if you get any of those emails.
Yeah.
And so like I would just take note of that, and then it's like if it's a constant kind of like
And when it comes to upsells too, like upsells or new products, you talk about this a lot, is that it's basically you're trying to figure out what is the next problem this product that I just sold them solves. Because I mean, basically every product has a next problem. You know, like if you have, we'll say for example, it could be maybe weight loss,
Yeah.
right? Okay, you sell them weight loss. Okay, well now what is their next biggest problem? Is it keeping it off? Is it building muscle? Is
Yeah.
it buying new clothes that fit? Is it learning how to keep it in their daily routine? What is it? You know, because they don't want to lose all the weight and get it back. So what is the next thing that they would need? Well, maybe they need a diet program, so it's easy to stay on diet, you know?
They need to eat less.
It could be, I don't know, you know, whatever it is. So it's like, it's just like figuring out, okay, what's the next problem and fulfilling that. I think that's your best upsell strategy, like an actual upsell. And then I think in the long term, like it's kind of just another really good, I think your best upsell might be the first thing you want to test as a secondary product.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it.
My man.
All right. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
You guys should join BBA and ESS. You're losing money if you don't join.
Next mountains to climb for you. I think, yeah, it's like you basically, you got, I think it's like mental kind of like number, like let's say millimonths. Now you just have to like readjust, go for not just like bigger numbers. I mean, with your product specifically, it's like how many people you can help with your product that can protect themselves, you know, in situations that matter. And, you know, just impact more people and create more, you know, good value in the world. So, and then in that process, becoming like a better person, just like evolving to the next levels.
Yeah, and I think being around entrepreneurs is major for that. I think like one last thing is, guys, if you do start getting traction with your brand and everything, I think a massive part of it is you should be going to a lot of events. Like the Elite event, this is where I got the bracelet, like the in-person events, it'll change your life. I think you learn things so much harder whenever you're actually in person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. Like, you hear things all the time, but it's like, they just like hit you. Like, it just relates way harder. You're like, I should fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the big thing. But yeah, you guys are going to crush it. Like, I don't care where you're at right now. I don't care if you're in your mom's basement. I don't care, like, if you're in a, you know, a high-rise hotel apartment. I don't care where you're at. You can make it. It's real. If you don't quit, you can't lose. And I really mean that. Like, to anybody out there, like, I really am rooting for you. Like, I've been in your position, it can happen.
My man.
So you can make it. Like, bro made it all the way from Ukraine. Did you even speak English when you started? Very little?
Few words.
Yeah, he's crushing it. Like, it's crazy how it's crazy how far people come. You can do it. You guys can do great.
Yeah,
anyway.
and it's fascinating because the more you do it, like the more you realize you can do it, because then you meet people that like operating on a higher level, and then you get to that level, and then you up. But it's like it's just a journey. And
by the way, don't feel like, I know we were talking about hard times and stuff like that. Guys, the thing is, you just need to know this step by step. There's hard times, but there's a lot of fantastic
scared
days.
people like, oh fuck, I don't want to get into this.
It's worth it. Through the whole journey I walked through, I would do it 100 times over.
Yeah.
Because
what's the alternative, right?
Yeah, because here's the thing, right? Here's basically how I looked at it. It's like I can go through a couple years of suck. I didn't know how many years. I didn't know if it was 1, 5, 10. Turned out to be like 3 or 4. I could go through like 3, 4 years of suck and getting my teeth kicked in, and by the time my friends graduate college, you're running an 8-figure brand. And then you can kind of like, then you can start to build that freedom, and you can start having employees, and they can help reduce your workload, and you do things you really enjoy. Or I can spend my entire life just kind of like having a semi-sucky job and then dying in the grave and going, fuck, I wasted everything. And by everything, I mean my time, which your time is your life.
And getting replaced by AI in a few years.
Oh yeah, that too. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to say that. But you guys can do it. It's worth every bit of it. I'll see you. If you're in ESS or BBA, hit me up. I'm more than happy to help you.
My man, I appreciate you, and looking forward to the next.
See you, man.
Just like evolution stages for you.
Same
like
for
numbers, you. Like it will come naturally.
Yeah.
Like as you evolve and you become just next level savage.
Same for you.
My man.
My man. Have a good one. Have a good one.